Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And yes, again, I'm late night live. And I got to tell you guys something, man. You guys know that I'm a part of that 80s, 90s movie lifestyle. I grew up on Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, Terminator, what else? Exterminator, everything in the 80s through the 90s, right? And I gotta tell you guys something. That includes Aliens, even though Aliens has spanned probably the last 50 years, because one was, I think the first one was in like 79, the second one was in the 80s, and so forth, right? Aliens 3 was sometimes in the 90s. And I'll tell you guys something. It has never stopped. And I don't think it ever will. And that's one franchise that I don't get sick of. Because the Aliens, bro, they are straight up diabolical. When I mean diabolical, I mean these aliens, bro, are diabolical. Boxing Wave in the building. What's up, brother? Man, I had to tell you guys about this premiere. Appreciate the love. Terminator 2, my favorite of all time. Okay, let's see. Terminator 2. What was that? Hasta la vista, baby. You know? Let me go! Why'd you do that? Because you told me to. Bro, I'm a movie buff, man. If I was gonna do another YouTube channel, it would be just strictly on movies. Like movie critics. Boxing Wave, man, we might just need to do like a, Boxing Wave and Counterpunch movie premiere channel. You know what I mean? That would be dope. Hit me up. We might really seriously need to do that, man, because one thing I love just as much as boxing is movies. And I'm like, listen, this is my premiere, my review. I'm not a spoiler. I don't do that. But I can tell you, if I was going to give this movie anything, I would give it an 8 out of 10. And I'm pretty strict on movies. 8 out of 10. Aliens, Romulus. Bro, it's wicked. And it's a trip. I was trying to get people to watch it with me or whatever. Nobody wanted to come. And I was like, you know what? It's Friday night and I ain't got nothing to do, And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch it myself. And you know something? I am glad that I did. Dead ass. Because that movie there, man, I hadn't had a movie in a long time. That makes you go, ah! You know what I mean? That kind of movie, that kind of suspense. You guys can hear my voice. It's definitely worth watching and seeing. Definitely. Because, man, I'm not spoiling anything. I'm not telling anybody nothing. I am no snitch. But I can tell you this. If you're an Alien fan, if you're Predator, Alien, that type of genre, you would love this. Absolutely. You would love this, man. It's not known actors. That's what I love about it. Everybody needs a fair shake. Let's link up and do movies. Hell yeah, let's do it. Boxing Way. I'm dead ass serious, bro. We can do movies and just boom. And then, for people that love it, love it. For the who's that don't. It might even grow bigger than the channels that we have. But yeah, movies, man, they are, that's like my second love, right? And I sat there and watched this movie. It puts you in the mind of something like, I don't know if you guys can remember, but there was a movie, I think it was in 1990, called Arachnophobia. And in Arachnophobia, I might have been 10 at the time. I don't know. Maybe like that, something 9 or 10. But Arachnophobia was a movie about spiders. And it had so many catchy ass gotcha moments. To the point you're like, oh shit, I didn't see that. I haven't had a movie like that, like the one I just saw, in a very long time since that time. That's the reactions that I got. And I'm a grown ass man. I was a kid back then. So that tells you a lot. You know what I mean? Pikachu, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Arachnophobia was a great movie. Yeah, John Goodman. He had that spray spraying them all down like an exterminator in the building. The new Alien movie is crazy. Yes, I just saw it. Paul, I just saw the shit. It is straight up suspenseful, diabolical, crazy, and wicked all at the same damn time. I'm serious, man. That movie was very, very good. And it was very good in a bad way, because the way the movie is, like, aliens are one of those things, like, if they ever get to Earth, we're fucked. If they existed, yeah, we're done. You know, and like, I just got to tell you guys, it was off the chain. It was totally off the chain. And then it was, and I figured it would be, and it should be, because the timelines and all the aliens are all different. Especially, you know, when Sigourney Weaver's character, you know, stayed like 67 years and her daughter was older and died waiting on her and all that stuff. So, you know, like, the timelines are sick. But, so, you know, it had to be futuristic or whatever. So, you know, it takes place, you know, in some type of, I wouldn't necessarily say a post-apocalyptic, because, you know, I think that was just the standard of life at that time. But, man, oh, it, like, hey, that was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was considering checking the new Alien movie out. Now it's a must. Yes, Blaine Walker, you must watch this movie. You know, and I'm glad I saw it, because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this shit, because it was either that or what was the other one? The Crow remake. And with The Crow, I was rather kind of biased towards The Crow, because, you know, Brandon Lee, I'm a martial artist, so Brandon Lee was kind of like the answer to Bruce Lee for the people that wasn't around when Bruce Lee was around. So we had Brandon, and then he fucking died on the movie. Then you're like, oh man, you know, and then it was weird because, like, you know, that was a reminder that he did die. The movie was all right, but to me, it wasn't better than Rapid Fire. But of course it meant more, because he died on the shit. He died making it. So the sacrifice of this guy, this young martial artist, son of a legend, right? Royalty, died on this show, The Crow. So, I mean, the idea of any movie called The Crow, you're going to go back and reference what happened to Brandon Lee. So I really wouldn't fill in that either. But I did want to see aliens, you know? So, yes, and I'm glad I did. I am glad I did. Smash that like button, guys. Show your support for the channel. Subscribe and share. CJ Aspiron in the building. Counterpunch to you. Mike Babs. Is you live, Kurt? Yes, I am live. Apocalypto is an awesome movie. Yes, Apocalypto's good. I think that was pretty much one of Mel Gibson's last, you know, good movies. You know, he's had some great movies, you know, like Once Were Warriors and, you know, many others. Right? Nah, Brandon Lee was The Crow. They can't replace him like that. Brandon Lee, best movie was Showdown in Little Tokyo. Blaine Walker, let me tell you something. You gotta be a martial artist and a martial arts lover to say that was a good movie. I mean, it was a good movie. But here's the thing. Like, if you've seen a lot of inconsistencies in that movie. You know, Brandon Lee had some of the cheesiest lines in life in that movie. Oh, I loved it. Don't get me wrong, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first movie I ever seen Brandon Lee in. Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren, Tierra Correa. Oh my God, I had a crush on that woman. That woman was, she was like her, when she was in Wayne World and Showdown in Little Tokyo and Rising Sun. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know the actor's name. You know, I know it was somebody that's really not known to me. You know, I don't know who replaced him, but I know, you know, honestly, I would have just left that alone. And it just shows you that not all series like Alien should be replaced and keep, you know, being revamped and revamped and revamped. You know what I mean? This Aliens, people, let me promise you something. When you go watch this Aliens, this one right here, this Aliens right here, oh yeah, you're going to be satisfied. And you're going to see something that you've never seen before. And I think that's the whole thing. They upped the ante with this shit. Oh yeah, they did. They upped the ante with this Aliens film, man. Yeah, at CJ Esperance, she was bad, bro. She was hot. You know, Bruno Fernandez, hello to you. I'm to the old Evil Dead movies, especially 1 and 2. The first one was meant to be serious. The other were comedy. You know, they were a lot of Evil Dead movies because when I was younger, you know, we didn't have cable when we grew up. Okay, we had 3, 6, 9, no, 3, 6, 12, 24, and 33, sometimes 61. Until I got around 13, and then my father bought a satellite because we were in a rural area, so we didn't have cable. We didn't have access to it. It wasn't available in our area, you know, and it took like I don't know how many years for it to become available in our area. But we watched a lot of like black and white, you know, growing up. So I saw a lot of those old movies, like the original, you know, Evil Dead, you know what I mean, and things like that. It takes place between the first and second movies. McLovin in the building. Smash that like button. Smash the like button. Now, Brandon Lee was the Crow, right? Let's see. We had 2 in black and white. Yeah, I remember seeing the first one. Because we didn't have cable, we watched a hell of a lot of VHS. And that's what we had. You know, we had like Blockbuster Video. We had Hollywood Video. Well, we had Hollywood a little later on. But we definitely had Blockbuster, especially hitting the 90s. Blockbuster hit the U.S. like a fucking anvil. And it just was the new norm. And I honestly miss that. I think that would help people jail better. I think relationships would be better if we had some like movie place that you can go and pick out a movie together instead of sitting your lazy ass on your couch and just flicking a button. Some things that are easy access doesn't make it a good thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, a remote is good to certain degrees, but when it takes away from the connection that you really would have doing things together, that all matters. You know what I mean? I think, you know, but Blockbuster gave you that opportunity because let's say you went out on a date and hell, let's say you're married and you go out on a date and you're like, hey, hon, I want to watch a movie. Let's go get a movie. So you go to Blockbuster Video. You know, the place is well lit. It looks like a movie house. So, you know, the decor was nice, you know, walking into a Blockbuster Video, you know, and you got all the new releases on the wall and you can look up and you can see yourself. You can see yourself and your significant other and you're holding hands, and you're doing whatever. And, oh, I like this one. And then she picks one or he picks one or whatever, or whoever picks one. And they're like, hey, I like this one. You know, okay, cool. So I got one, you got one, you know, at the same time, you could order a pizza somewhere, you know, pick up the pizza. They got Cokes, popcorn and stuff right there. One-stop shop, pretty much. And you're going back home, you know, but you've had that togetherness and stuff like that, picking a movie out together, getting home, making a whole day, a whole event out of it, you know. So Blockbuster was all about that. And I do miss that. And I think we need that in all culture. I think there is one Blockbuster left, and I think it's in Oregon. And I think, you know, what I'm going to do, because I'm going to Seattle anyway, that's, you know, I'm going to UK, of course, but then I'm going to Seattle. And then I want to go to Oregon to check out the last remaining Blockbuster Video. You know what I mean? So you could at least relive that, right? A van used to come around with videos in the back. I was like an ice cream truck, but for hiring videos. Blockbuster and all those mom and pops video stores were great. They killed the culture, bro. It's sad. They did. You know, and they killed it with convenience. You know, now it didn't really matter. I think Blockbuster was trying to hold on to a particular thing that was dying, but what also died was the camaraderie, the connection, the desire to do those type of things. You know, I mean, now it's sad. You just sit around the house and order shit. You know, and it's like, okay, you know, that's why like going to the movies is a thing. You know what I mean? Rene Padilla in the building. What's up, brother? Salute. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ in the building. What's up, Renee Padilla? You still in Louisiana? Talk to me. Your thoughts on UK heavyweight prospects, Moses Atoma. Moses Atoma, quiet and deadly. That's what I think about Moses Atoma. We had PBS, ABC, CBS, and party lines. We were out in the sticks. Yep, I was right there out in the sticks with you. What time is it over there, Kurt? It is 12:41 here. I'm in Central Standard Time, so it's, it just turned midnight or whatever. Your thoughts on there, you got that. But no, man, definitely a good movie to watch. Yeah, I would definitely check that one out. If you guys like aliens, man, or any of that type of genre of horror, science fiction, that's the shit to watch right now. Good acting, I dug it, man. It was actually a throwback, but a new back. Because I mean, a lot of things, like you see a lot of stuff, that like deals with today's time, which is kind of like, okay, you get bored with today's time, especially with science fiction. Science fiction's supposed to be fantasy, then that's mixed with true emotion of how you would handle that if you were in that situation, so you're all you're on the edge of your seat. And in fact, I was on the edge of my seat a lot of times, where is Big John Fury gone? Oh, Johan T. I don't know. I got to do a live about Big John, man. Good question. Blockbuster Video disappeared here in New Zealand around about 2010. There were too many ghosts in there. Shit, at least it lasted that long. 2010? Bro, 2010. No, Blockbuster was way long gone by then over here. I like The Patriot with Mel Gibson. The Patriot was dope. Yeah, that's one of like the fight scene that he had when his shot when his whatever his son got shot. Oh, bro. That one fight scene he had, bro, that was dope. Aim small, miss small. Aim small, miss small. And they called him, he was like a ghost, but Mel was dynamic in that shit. He was definitely dynamic. Do you believe in aliens, Kurt? Seriously question. I don't think we're the only species in God's universe. I don't either. I mean, it would be actually arrogant to think we are. Especially like when people, like, here's the thing, and I'm not, and this is no jive. There are over 600 claimed alien abductions. 600. You know what I mean? And that's just people that just came out and said, man, I've been abducted. Call me crazy, but that's what happened. Remember Fire in the Sky? Those type of things. Do you believe? Okay, but so yeah, I think there is. Me personally, I hope I never. I don't want to have an encounter with an alien. I don't. Master and Commander and Free Johnstown Wicked movies. In country near Houston doing construction at the moment. Okay. Near Houston, huh? Been thinking about joining the military, but I want to know everything. I'm signing the contract, but I feel they're not going to explain everything to me. No, they won't. If I were you, if you just want to do it for combat or CQC or something like that, I would get with a specialist, a tracker, or someone like that to learn. So if you're going to know anything, I think learning privately first, then you will know more than the average Joe. That's if you want to do that. Unless you're going to college, I wouldn't recommend the military. And if I'm going to recommend the military, go to the Air Force or the Coast Guard, maybe the Navy. Army, Marines, well, I guess if you want to come back with some serious post-traumatic stress disorder, yeah, you would join one of those. But if you value your happiness and things that used to make you happy, don't go there. And I have nothing against the military. I just know, So it is what it is. Um, Thoughts on Parker? He looking big and strong, been working out for once. I don't know if that'll help Parker or not because he's been good already. I say if it's not broke, don't fix it. So the idea of him getting jacked might, what would that do for him? Would that help him? I don't know. I don't know if that'll help him. It may make him slower. Blockbuster was a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Netflix offered them a deal, but they rejected it. Blockbuster didn't see streaming videos was the way of the future. Well, here's the thing about greed. When you are that successful for that long, what starts happening is, because you got to think about, Blockbuster was probably popular for what, 15 years or so? Maybe more. So going on 2 decades, Blockbuster was just the shit. In fact, Blockbuster made more money. If you guys don't know this, Blockbuster Video made more money on late fees than actual sales. And that's how they ended up crumbling, because people started to wake up. They started to say, you know what? This is some bullshit. I bought four movies, and yes, I let like 1 or 2 of them. I turned 2 of them in, and then and then after that, I forgot 2, and then the 2 that I forgot was more than the 4 that I rented. So people got tired of that. Psycho crushing the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. And in the fact, if they weren't so greedy, they could have changed everything overall, because see, had Blockbuster bought into the streaming service, they might have still been able to salvage the customers that still valued going out to get a movie. It didn't have to all be streaming. See what happened when Netflix offered them a deal. Netflix was just saying, hey, I know and I see you guys are successful. Let's merge and come together. So then you guys can be a part of the streaming issue and we could be a part of you. Blockbuster was like, no. And then they became competitors and Netflix kicked their ass. Now there's no market for that whatsoever, which is dumb. Because I know there's people that miss. I know I ain't the only one that miss going out on a date or somewhere to get a movie, pick up a movie, take the damn movie home, watch the movie and chill. You know what I mean? Like, especially with, today's, but then COVID probably would have crumbled a lot of stuff, but it would have came back, You want to do boxing as well. Well, I would train boxing. What if an alien is actually typing this comment right now, Kurt? Man, that's crazy. Obviously smart enough to type. The same time, brother. Oh no. They saying Parker is 270 now. Well, that won't help him for somebody that's, see, Parker, that's dumb. And if he's 270 pounds, I'm afraid that he is following the footsteps of his pioneer brethren, David Tua. And he's taller than David Tua and everything. He's more successful. He actually became a champion, which David Tua was never a champion. Just David Tua had dynamite knockout power. The only problem with David Tua was his diet, like most islanders are. Not Micronesians, I'm sorry, Polynesians. They're very strong, physically strong people. But they like to party and they love family and they love to eat and they love to get together and they like to sing, they like to dance, they like to drink, they like to do other things to multiply kids, to have more good times. But unfortunately, during those times, they eat bad. Okay? The story of like Samoa and, Spam and all that shit in Hawaii, the military brought Spam there and they took it and started worshiping the shit, My wife and I still go to the drive-in. It's never changed since 1980. Still has the original posters in the concession room. That's dope. That's what I want. That's what I want. Kurt, which referee should boxing? Which referee should boxing start interviewing? All of them. I would start with the most controversial. Harvey Doc, Mark Nelson, guys like Jack Reese, um, Richard Steele, Joe Cortez, Tony Weeks, Steve Willis. Those are the ones that should be interviewed. I don't think referees get enough recognition. I just don't. I missed the drive-in theaters. The first movie I've seen was The Terminator. Honestly, I don't remember. The first movie I remember seeing at the theater was probably a Van Damme movie, man. It was a Van Damme movie. Because we seen movies at the theater, but I was young, so I don't remember a lot of stuff like that. Bobby, Bass Night. I'm late in here. Have you heard or seen the Devin Haney video? He was applying for a circus sideshow act. These American fighters can't stay out of their own way. Bloodsport is one of my favorites. Bloodsport is one of my favorites too. For some reason, I like watching that on a Sunday afternoon. You know what I mean? It seems like a Sunday movie to me. After I just cooked. I don't know. Martial arts movies, I always gravitated to, especially the ones with like Keith Cook, Cynthia Rothrock, like China O'Brien, Richard Norris. No, Richard Norton, not Richard Norris, Richard Norton. He was Chuck Norris's stunt double for many years. I grew up watching Bloodsport on VHS, must have seen it 1,000 times and still love it. Johan T. Yep. It's like I like Bloodsport, No Retreat, No Surrender, The Last Dragon. Those movies, those three, I've probably watched 500 times. To the point where just lines in the movie just like that. It's almost like doctrine, what the hell is a dim mark? Death touch. No, bottom one. He said, what's the hold up? He says, he's a Tanaka clan. You don't look like Tanaka. What's the difference? Is Bruce Springsteen's a Shidoshi? If he is Tanaka, if it is his Shidoshi, he should apply the dim mark. Best of the best. Yep, one of my favorites, bro. Tell me I ain't the only one that jerked the damn tear out his eye when old boy walked over there limping. And okay, best of the best. All right, check this out. I got to do a poll. Okay. No, seriously. So just made a poll. So you guys tell me if you've seen Best of the Best. Best of the Best was probably one of the best, especially at the time. Now, I saw that at the theater, definitely. That'll touch you because it's like the U.S. karate team taking on the Korean karate team, I haven't seen it, Kurt. Bro, watch the Best of the Best. You have to watch the best. That's your job. That's your homework, Renee. That's your homework. You got to watch Best of the Best. Do now I show you some trick or two. Yeah. Dan and Frank Dukes. Dukes. Put up your Dukes, right? You'll love Asians because we're so good looking. Oh, man. No Retreat, No Surrender was the first movie I've seen Van Damme playing, and he was the bad guy. No. First movie that I seen Van Damme in, and it was after that, was Black Eagle with Shokazuki. And Van Damme was like, but it was almost like he was a bad guy, but he was just like a bad guy on the bad team. I don't think he was necessarily a bad guy. I mean, he was a bad MFer, but I don't think he was just, I think it's just how you looked at it. Bruce Leroy, who's the master? Yeah, Cooley. Kiss my Converse. I haven't seen 95% of the movies you are all mentioning here. Mike Babs, you have to watch them. I like Wu-Tang movies. Kung Fu. Okay. Kurt, did you know Van Damme played as the first Predator as the recast? Yes, I did. And he didn't like it because it couldn't show his face. It was more like it would have been more of a Predator that was that knew karate, which would have been cheesy as shit. So I'm glad it went towards I think it's Kevin Peter Parker. They recasted him because he's like 7 foot tall. Kevin Peter Parker was the first Predator. He was also, if you guys seen the show Harry and the Hendersons, he was in the suit. He died of a back then they didn't screen blood properly the way they supposed to, and the blood was contaminated with AIDS, so he caught AIDS. Kevin Peter Parker. So R.I.P. to Kevin Peter Parker. Time Cop was good. It was the highest grossing film that he ever did. Time Cop. Yeah, I remember that. And people didn't like him, and and so he bumped heads with a lot of people, and he quit. I mean, it was a good idea. Who is behind you, bro? Saludos desde Argentina. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I hope nobody's behind me. I don't know how tall Van Damme is. I just know I've seen Van Damme because I follow him on Instagram. He looks pretty damn old. But I mean, he's in his 60s now. I'm glad he's still alive. But no, man. Like, also with Smith was supposed to play as Neo in the Matrix and was recasted. No, that is not what happened. They wanted him to play in the Matrix. He wasn't casted in the Matrix. He turned down the Matrix, but he wasn't the first one. Do you guys know who the first Neo supposed to have been? Do you guys know who the first Neo was? Who was supposed to have been the first Neo? Can anybody tell me that? Can anybody tell me? All 29 of you guys here chilling in the circle of in the trenches. No, you don't. Okay. Does anybody know who was supposed to, who the Rashosky, was it the Rashosky, however you say them? Who were they wanting for? I only like 2 Steven Seagal movies, Hard to Kill and Marked for Death. Overall, not a fan of Seagal. I fell out of love with Seagal early because I just looked at the movies and they were just so damn unrealistic. Van Damme got his ass whooped. He got his ass whooped. He kicked some ass. He got his ass whooped. He recovered. He got some cat. And then, you know what I'm saying? He slammed something and then he went back and win. That's what he did. The Matrix, but I've played the games. Does anybody know who was supposed to be the first Neo? Who they were wanting to be the first Neo? Does anybody know? No, not Tom Cruise. Hell no. He's too small. He's too short. Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Can someone tell me who was supposed to have been the first Neo? And when I tell you, you guys will be like, oh shit. No, not me. I was way too young to be the first Neo. I was like, shit, 14, 15. When the Matrix came out, when did the Matrix come out? Like 90, shit, 7, 98? No, not Jet Li. No. Too short. Shit, he's like fucking Tom Cruise's height. Richard Dean Anderson. Nope. Nicolas Cage. Nope. Mm-mm. The original person, Danny DeVito. Really? Danny DeVito? um, Johnny Depp. Nope. That's kind of I can that's it's kind of creative. That's a creative answer, but no. Will Smith. Will Smith again. Will Smith was one of the second or third people that they asked, and he turned it down. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why he did that. You know, Marky Mark, fuck no, he's too short. Will Smith turned down The Matrix to do Wild Wild West. He wanted to redo Robert Conrad's original Wild Wild West. If you guys know anything about old school, because my parents were way older, okay? And Kung Fu, Wild Wild West was a show back in the 60s. Robert Downey Jr. Too short again. I know you were joking, Mad Dog. But listen, no. Robert Conrad was he was a martial artist, but he did a Wild Wild West show. No, it wasn't Nick Cage. No. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hell no. Leonardo DiCaprio. Listen. Leonardo DiCaprio was a guy that also turned down the role, but he turned it down because he wasn't comfortable with the martial arts, which made sense. He's not a martial artist. He's a swanky Eddie Hearn built cat. You know, Eddie's putting on some weight because he's getting older, but Leonardo is just kind of tall and lanky. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the physicality for a role like that. Normally someone that has that's lanky, that doesn't really have body definition, really can't pull off a role like that. You know what I mean? Keanu did a good job. Jason Statham wasn't even around. Matter of fact, Jason Statham was modeling at the time. Brad Pitt, nope. It wasn't Brad Pitt. I used to watch Kung Fu when I was a kid. Val Kilmer, nope. Wasn't Val Kilmer. I'm loving this because you guys I'm putting you guys to a test. Who was the original Neo? Who did those brothers that created the Matrix franchise, who did they want to become Neo? Who was Neo in their mind? Does anybody know? Does anybody know who was casted to be Neo? And I'm not talking about Keanu Reeves. No, not Brad Pitt. No, not Ben Affleck. Nope. Matter of fact, I don't even think Ben Affleck did Good Will Huntings yet. Will Smith turned it down. Okay. Russell Crowe wasn't even around. Russell Crowe didn't show. His first breakthrough was Virtuosity with Denzel Washington, and that wasn't until later on. Barack Obama. Who you kidding? Jim Carrey. Really? No. Come on. Who else? One of the Sheen brothers. Nope. One of the Baldwins. Nope. None of them. You guys are going to trip out. You guys are going to trip out when you find out who the original Neo was. And then when you see that Tom Hanks, hell no. Mickey Rourke, fuck no. No. Absolutely not. Angel Heart over here. No. Can you think of the guy that played in the movie Roadhouse? Patrick Swayze. Nope. It wasn't Patrick Swayze. He didn't even fit that bill. I don't even see Patrick. And I love Patrick Swayze. Next to Kin, Roadhouse, Ghost, Point Break in the building. David Bautista. Hell no. David wasn't even around at that time. He wasn't even doing movies. Stallone's too short. No. I don't see him pulling that off. I'm the Matrix. Yeah. Yeah. Kurt, remember the Goonies? The Goonies? Yeah. Cuba Gooding Jr.? Nope. Edward Norton? Hell no. No. Kevin Kline? Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Come on, give me more. Give me more. Kevin Hart, really? Kevin Hart was still in Philly. Trying to do what everybody else that age was trying to do, lose his virginity. Bruce Willis, no. Michael Douglas. Nope. Mel Gibson. Nope. Come on, people. Who was the original Neo? I can't be the only nerd in here that know that shit. Come on. Patrick Swayze was great in Red Dawn. Tom Selleck. Nope. Not Magnum P.I., sir. Who was the original Neo? I haven't seen it yet. Eddie Murphy? Hell no. Eddie Murphy was busy doing his own thing. Shout out to him. Don Johnson? Nope. Michael Keaton? Nope. Spill the Bills mean Lawrence Fishburne? Nope. He was Morpheus. Come on. I mean, do we give up? Do we give up? Yes or no? I mean, everybody has to agree that you give up on finding out who this is. Do you guys want me to tell you yes or no, or do you want to keep guessing? Because this is something that you're going to see it. When you see it, you're going to say, oh, shit. Really? Matthew Modine? Nope. Ted Dancing? Nope. Okay, no. Okay. All right. Who was the original Neo? Who was the original Neo? Nick Cage was. I just read it. Nope. Bullshit. No, he wasn't. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Hell no. By the time Matrix, because I mean, look, Matrix was being talked, it was already, the script was already out there years ago, years before it was ever made. And by that time, like Van Damme was already doing his own thing. Nowhere to Run, Double Impact, you know, Time Cop, Cocaine Blues, Michael J. Fox, yeah. The secret of my success is winning. Okay, guys, do you guys want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you who was the original Neo? Do you guys want me to tell you? No, it's not Nick Cage. No, it's not Christian Bale. No. Are you guys ready? Y's or N's? Or you guys want me to tell you? Dolph Lundgren. Nope. So you guys want me to tell you? Are you guys ready? Tell us why. Okay. Okay. Johan T. Psycho Crusher. Wesley Snipes. Nope. Wasn't the original? Nope. I don't even know who that is. Keith Carradine? No. Y's or N's? Just tell me. Y's or N's? Yeses or no's, people? I don't know who the hell is Ernest Bernstein. I have no idea who that is. You guys just making up some shit. Okay, listen. Listen. Sandra Bullock. Me neither. Jeff Goldblum. Nope. Jeff Goldblum. All right, listen. Jackie Chan. Nope. All right, guys. I'm going to tell you. It's a male. It's Neo. It's a male. So I don't know where the hell Sandra Bullock comes from. What? No, it's not Jet Li. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know if you guys want me to tell you. Tell us. I know Renee wants to know. Who else wants to know? I mean, we got 30 people on here. I know we ain't all. Come on, let's see. If you want me to tell you, I'll tell you. Yes, Mad Dog. I want to see some Y's. Howard Stern. No. Yeah, Psycho Crusher. What's the question? Who was the first Neo? BS3. Who was the first original Neo? And it wasn't fucking the guy that played. It wasn't Keanu Reeves. I love Keanu Reeves. Who was the first Neo originally? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me that? Who was the original Neo that they had already selected to be Neo? No, 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 and no. None of those. Who is the original Neo from the Matrix? Then you guys will trip out. It's not Val Kilmer. Tree Duck is not Val Kilmer. It's not Will Smith. He was a replacement. All of them were replacements. All of those guys are replacements. Will Smith, Leonardo DiCaprio, Charlie Sheen, I don't even think he was, I think he was doing too much blow. John Wayne, really? Is it The Rock? The Rock wasn't even around then. The Rock was somewhere in Hawaii or where the hell he was at. Broke. The Rock was broke as a joke at that time. Kurt got looking stuff up at 2 a.m. I know people are looking, and here's the thing. And I know that's why people are not talking. People, everybody want to do, let me see what it is. Let me see what it is. Come on, quit acting this, people. I'm killing you guys. Who is the original Neo? I'm not looking it up. Tell us, Kurt. Okay. Are you guys ready for me to tell you? We talking about Evan fucking McGregor. Who, I don't even know who that is. It's when. I don't know. Mike Tyson, really? Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson was in fucking jail. Yeah, it's damn near been an hour. Samuel Jackson? Yeah. Okay. The crackhead from Jungle Fever at the time. He didn't even do Pulp Fiction at that point. John Travolta? Yeah, right. Sean. What, he's going to dance around bullets? Is he white or black? No, we ain't doing that. Do you guys want to know who it is or not? I think people still want to know what it is. I think people still want to know. Now people are asking, is he white or black? Is it a male or a female? It's a male, damn it. That's what it is. That's who it is. Debo from Friday. Really? People talking the same shit Val Kilmer. Crosby, I could have sworn you put Val Kilmer 3 fucking times. It's not Val Kilmer. The guy from Desperado. No, it is not Banderas. Ice Cube. No, not Will. No, no, no. Nope. James Reamer. I don't know who that is. Leonardo DiCaprio. No. Denzel. No. The villain from 48 Hours. Nope. Michael Jai White or John White. Nope. Nope. No. He wasn't Jake from Once Were Warriors Retro Gaming Angry Gamer. Jakey. Jake was a crazy dude, man. I still want to watch the sequel to What Becomes of a Broken Heart with because it had Once Were Warriors, and then the sequel was What Becomes of a Broken Heart. Come on, guys, tell me. Dan Aykroyd. I saw him, the gun. He lives here now. He's old as fuck. In the gum. Yeah. I mean, he's had his career though. Will Smith tells the story of turning the Matrix down and doing the Wild Wild West instead. Mike Mackey. Listen. Yes, Will Smith was asked to do the role, and because because of Enemy of the State and because of other films that he was in, he turned it down. Because, I mean, he was hot property at the time. Nope. Not Carl Weathers, not Woody Harrelson, not Matthew fucking Broderick, not Arnold Schwarzenegger, no. But understand, they asked him after the first person. Could not do it. Who was the original Neo? Can anybody tell me that? Tim Allen. Really? Tim fucking Allen? Tool Time? Tim Allen? Come on, bro. No jokes. I mean, like, come on. Let's stop being corny. Nicolas Cage, no. Johnny Depp, no. It's not Johnny Depp. I don't even know if Johnny Depp can fight like that. Robert Redford, really? Indecent Proposal, Robert Redford? The Sundance Kid? Butch Cassidy, really? Bruce Willis, nope. No, it's not fucking Ben Affleck. Not Ben. If you guys are paying attention to the answers, it's none of these guys. Peter Dinklage. Okay. Bob Arum. Give us a hint. I did. I gave you a hint. He can fight. The guy who played Chewbacca. No. Hugh Grant. Great. Christian Bale, no. Christian Bale was still in Ireland. Keanu Reeves was not the original person that they wanted to play Neo. He was one of the people that they actually casted eventually. Okay, in fact, you had guys like Leonardo DiCaprio. No. Not Jude Law, not Billy Blanks, not John Cena. None of those guys. Not Danny DeVito. Danny fucking DeVito. Come on, man. Seriously. I mean, real answers, not all this bullshit. Think about that. Like, who was the original Neo? Dude from X-Files. No. The cat made a lot of money, though. X-Files stayed on a long time. Renee, I know they don't. I know people don't. I mean, look at the answers. The answers are just redonkulous. In so many ways, AJ winning is good for boxing, but Dubois winning isn't. Colin Farrell, nope. Tom Cruise, no. Not fucking Tom Cruise. None of those. You got me, Kurt, and I started this. Yep. But, hey, if you guys want me to tell you, I'll tell you. Tommy Morrison. Dude from Umbach, no. Tony Jaa wasn't even around at that time, bro. Tony Jaa was like, he got like popular like in, what was it, 2003, 4? I'm never gonna hear the answer. Mojo! It's fucking Brandon Lee. Finally, someone fucking guessed it. Brandon Lee was casted as the original fucking Neo. Brandon Lee, the son of Bruce Lee, was casted as Neo in 1993. Brandon fucking Lee. Brandon Lee. Imagine that shit. Brandon Lee being Neo. And if you think about Brandon Lee looked short against like guys like Dolph Lundgren, but the motherfucker was 6 foot tall. He was the same height as Keanu Reeves. A lot of people don't know that. So, yeah, didn't think of him. No, you didn't. You know, but we were talking about him. But here's the thing. We were talking about 90s stuff. And let me tell you something. Brandon Lee would have killed that role, bro. Think of Brandon Lee as fucking Neo. Bro, that would have been fucking dope. That would have been, it would, and when I heard it, I was like, motherfucker. I was like, when I heard it, I was like, what? That's who they wanted. The Wachowski brothers. They came to Brandon Lee because it was rapid fire, then The Crow. After The Crow, boom! They landed that in his hand, and he absolutely loved the shit. You know? And that you know he could carry, and he wasn't that stereotypical Asian, never gets laid cat that fights everybody and never really has a romantic, you know what I mean, a bone in his body. No, that ain't Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee was slamming chicks. You know what I mean? He would have done that. He would have did exactly that. And I remember, fuck steak, I followed his whole career. Now I remember. Yes, Brandon Lee was casted. That's who they wanted to play the Matrix, Neo. And he couldn't play the Matrix because he was fucking dead. That's why he couldn't play the Matrix. That's why he couldn't portray Neo in all those films. That would have made his career. I don't know what the fuck would have happened to Keanu Reeves, but, you know, it happened. Brandon Lee is still working on the movie The Crow at the moment. Yep, that shit sucked. I remember that. I think it was like March 23rd, March 29th or some shit like that happened in 1993. I remember that shit, man. I was like 12, 13. Matter of fact, I wasn't even 13 yet because it was 93. Hey, Kurt, guess who was supposed to play the kid in The Purple Rain? I don't know. I don't know. The Crow remake looks bad. I'm glad I didn't see it then. Well, Bruce Lee, to be fair, didn't die in a fucking film making it. Bruce Lee was making Game of Death, and then he died. Or was it Game of Death 2? I understand the Matrix movie was produced in 99, but the script was already out. Scripts are around long before they're actually picked up and anybody brings or shows interest in them. You know what I mean? See, the writer writes this shit, and then the writer pitches it to, you know, a cinema. You know, who's gonna back this? Okay, give you guys an example. Underworld. The Underworld series was dropped by so many people. I mean, New Line Cinema, Warner Brothers, Paramount. Then none of them wanted to fuck with it. They didn't want anything to do with any of that. The big black dude, I wanted to live. He was the one that helped write it. And the only people that picked it up was a smaller production company called Evolution. Now look where they're at now. Yeah. So, man, like the Underworld series, bro, that was because people refused to say no. Because all the bigger production companies were like, no, we're not touching that. Because why do you think there's so many remakes in movies? The remakes are in movies because they know that there is a backing, there is a following. You know what I mean? So, like, they'll make another Batman, but they won't make another Crater Man. They won't make a new Crater Man, and they won't make anything that's new because they don't know how it's going to do. Bars. They don't know if it's going to reach the investment of the money that they forked out to make the shit. That's why they do so many Ninja Turtles and Batmans and Supermans and X-Men and all that bullshit, because they know people are going to watch it based on time and based on already success, current success. The current success rate on most of this shit, that's why they do it. I was born in 78. The crazy for this stuff just started to build in 88-ish. A great series, in my opinion. Oh, yeah. But I mean, you know, The Matrix, though, was also a new thing. See, The Matrix is a thing now, but it wasn't in the early 90s. Nobody knew what it was. Right? See, understand, Keanu Reeves was a hit and miss guy because, okay, he did like movies like I Love You to Death, Point Break, Speed. What else did he do at that time? Bill and Ted 1 and 2. But really after that, he started doing shit that people didn't want to see. You know, like the last movie he did before he got casted at The Matrix was Johnny Mnemonic. Johnny Mnemonic was terrible. That shit with him and Ice-T when he was this like kind of mold and he was cyborgish and he held information. That shit sucked. Bill and Ted was cool though. Yeah, that's like Total Recall. The movie was scrapped, but Arnold wanted to do it, so some other producer picked it up. Yep. Kurt, you could have played Jeffrey Wright's role in Westworld. No, I don't think I could have. Jeffrey Wright is one amazing actor. I'm a pretty decent actor, but I'm not amazing. He's amazing. That motherfucker had you thinking that he was Dominicano. Pussy, why do you French? Why you French, pussy? You know, I ain't Tiger Woo. I like him. They call me people. You know why they call me that? They call me people. Yeah, he's a hell of an actor, bro. Hell of an actor. And I gotta tell you, no, Jeffrey Wright did that. I ain't hating on anybody in their craft. That's one thing I will not do. And I'm too much of a movie buff for that, you know? I like the whole, you know, grind, and I like the process of it, and it's tedious. So every part that I get, you know, I'm appreciative because I know that it was mine, not someone else's, mine, okay? So, yeah, that's what I like about that. Dead ass, people. Dead ass. Yeah, 7 was crazy. You know the thing about 7 though? 7 always will have a bad stain along with every other movie that Kevin Spacey was in. Because Kevin Spacey put a stain like American Beauty, 7, The Usual Suspects, K-Pack, like all these damn movies that he was in, that they were great movies, but he did some diabolical shit and it just followed him, you know? So Kevin Spacey kind of messed it up for a lot of people because The Usual Suspects, Kaiser Soze, what? Come on, bro. Yeah, he was good in 7. He was good in a lot of movies. Pay It Forward, you know? So, it is what it is, man. Kevin Spacey's personal life spiraled out of control. Yeah, it did. It did, man. It spiraled completely out of control. You know? Prime John Jones versus Prime Mike Tyson in a street fight. I don't know. I think whoever like if Tyson can get to John, he could knock his face off. Because, you know, MMA guys, especially wrestlers, if they can't grab you, they can't beat you. But, you know what I mean? If they're able to grab you, it may be a different story. Because when they grab you, they have control of you. Especially where they want you to be. If they can submit you on the ground and you know, and get you in a certain position, that may be your ass. Seriously. Kurt is the Knight Rider. I am the Knight Rider. Bro, that's a badass car, bro. I would love a car like that to this day. That's how old school I am. Tyson was crazy though, and vicious. Yeah, he was. He said, "I'm the magnificent, most vicious fighter there's ever been." Who wins? Jared Anderson. Where does Jared Anderson go from here? Nah, he ain't gonna rematch Macaulay, bro. You guys can forget about that. You can forget about Macaulay. You can forget about that type of rematch. And even he admitted he shouldn't have fought a guy like that. So, you know, that loss might have been the best for him because it's his own fault that he allowed people to rush him like that. Because remember, if a guy that's 23 years of age talking about, I only got 3 years in the business and I want to get out of the business, what do you think that he has to do to get out of the business in 3 years? He has to fight the most dangerous fights, right? Okay, there you go. That was one right there. And he got his ass whooped. So he may need to reevaluate, slow down, and change his mindset. Take it easy. He needs to take it easy. I'd like to see Joyce fight Wilder. I don't know. You know, Joyce, if Joyce can take that shot and Wilder really don't have power, Joyce will probably just beat him up. But see, if Joyce's chin is cracked, yeah, Wilder will knock him right on out. and it won't take long. Efe Ajagba versus Jared Anderson. Who you got, Kurt? I don't know. I think the momentum now would be going to Efe Ajagba, but he's a straight up and down fighter, no special effects too. Now, see, listen, Jared Anderson wasn't that problematic. The only problems that Jared Anderson gave anybody was himself. He didn't give promotion. He didn't give the promotional company any problems. He wasn't a problematic fighter. They liked Jared Anderson. So I think it's actually the opposite. Jared Anderson just put himself in a situation where he just bit off more than he could chew. Did you see the video of Devin Haney trying to punch a fan and then his friends jump in? I mean, look, you know what that's from though, right? If Devin Haney is attacking people around him and fans, that's just pushback. That's pushback from being beaten the way he is. Devin Haney's still angry. He's still angry, man. And you know the irony of Ryan Garcia? I don't even think Ryan Garcia had to cheat. But the whole idea that he did cheat, you know, it's stupid because I don't even think he had to cheat to beat Devin Haney. I really was into Airwolf and then Blue Thunder as a kid. Most people don't even remember that Blue Thunder. Now I remember Airwolf. Yeah, I remember that shit. What do you think about Richard Torre? I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. But no, man, I think that you know I'm going live tomorrow. So Deverenchenko's fighting Billy. So when Billy gets an opportunity, you know, to shine. So then Arslanbek Markmadov comes back. So we get to check out Markmadov. Okay, so he's another top-ranked heavyweight. Cool. McCauley versus Wilder. Man, y'all need to leave Wilder alone, man. Why are y'all trying to put him in there with McCauley? So you know, I don't think that's fair. You know, Wilder is still, when Wilder did fight, he fought in December, and then he fights again in May or June. And knowing that, we've seen how he was beaten. And then we find out this shit about all the personal stuff, man. That's just extra distraction right there. Wilder should fight Chisora. That would be good. I would like to see Wilder fight Chisora. I think Moses is quiet and deadly. Blue Thunder was like a flying Knight Rider. I'll look it up, see if anything, you know, sparks, because a lot of times you don't remember something until you see it, right? And that may be. I remember Airwolf though, definitely. Every time Wilder is emotional, I always remember that guy who claimed. You heard any new things about that black guy who claimed that Ryan? Nope, I ain't heard nothing since. I think he was just somebody that wanted money. If Ryan Garcia would have went upside that dude's head with punches, you would have saw that, bro. He got a neck brace on. I mean, I think that was stupid. I think that dude was just trying to get a check. Chisora would hurt Wilder. He would have to. He either hurt Wilder, beat him up, or Wilder would have to knock him out. Wilder's not a punisher. He's just a guy that hits you and takes you off your game. That takes you out, period. Street Hawk was Knight Rider on a bike. I'll tell you what used to be one of my favorite shows back in the day. It was Street Justice and Rising Sun. Not sure about Wilder anymore. I don't think anybody is. I don't even know if Wilder's sure about Wilder anymore, to be honest with you. Now I don't remember Blue Thunder off the top of my head either. I don't know what that is. Not sure if Robert is Torres' trainer, but Richard is a silver medalist. Okay. Wilder should retire. Well, he might have. I don't know. You think Malik Scott ruined Wilder? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure if he ruined Wilder or not. I really don't know if he did or not. He might have been already ruined. Maybe what ruined Wilder was the fact that they wouldn't train Wilder to prepare him for fights like Tyson Fury, for fights like Zhilei Zhang, for fights that like Joseph Parker. They just made him think that he was just so strong that all he needed to do was wave the right hand and guys are going to magically fall. You see this right here, and then they fall down. No. Kurt, do you remember the $6 Million Man, a.k.a. the Bionic Man? I remember that. Street Justice with Carl Withers. I remember how about Spencer. Yep, Street Justice with Brian Chinese. You know, he's a Facebook friend of mine. I never met him, but he's still heavy in the martial arts. Mad respect to him. You know, and here's the thing, though. Choreography is so important. Because Street Justice is like Brian Chinese. You know, he was a good fighter and all. You know, good martial artist. He's like the current day Pretty Boy Price. You know, Matt Mullins, like of the day. That's who he reminds me of. He's just older. He's like way in his 50s now. He might be 60, Brian Chinese. I know he was a lot younger than Carl Withers, you know, because Carl was 76. So, you know. But yeah, Brian Chinese, you know, he's still doing good. He's a Canadian guy. Yeah, I miss the dojo as well, though, man. I miss katas. I miss tournaments. I miss a lot of things about the circuits. If I'm not mistaken, that Wolf beat Blue Thunder out as they were on both of them about the same time. That might have happened. Spencer for hire. God, I ain't heard that word in a long time. Jake and the Fat Man. Oh, man. Good stuff. I would like Wilder to have one last fight in ATL against Miller. He would have to knock out Miller, because if he didn't, Miller's going to talk about him for the rest of his life. Then he's really going to spill the beans. Yeah, it's like I said, he almost is 60 because, dude, I was young, bro. I remember the theme songs and shit to stuff like that. So, like back then, dude, I had such a wicked roundhouse, spin hook kick, front snap, crescent kicks. Bro, my kicks were beautiful, Airwolf was a movie and a TV series. Blue Thunder was just a movie, like in 1984. Okay, gotcha. Miller will piss Wilder out enough for Wilder to whoop him. Well, I think it was too. I mean, Ruiz just got a pardon. He just got a pardon. To this day, I watch Bonanza. I don't think Wilder will fight again. He may not, man. He may just, yeah, he'll be 40 next year. Yeah, he will. Wilder born in 85, yeah. So if he's born in 84, he should be already 40. Or coming up on 40. I work with Ron Cohan and have yeah, everyone is getting old, bro. Yeah, man, my oldest kid is 23, bro. I'm like, damn. So it is what it is. You say Malik Scott has gotten his revenge. Kurt, what's Andy's next fight? Andy's next fight is with his hands in his stomach. My hand, I can't stop eating. Well, I had too many bad beatings back to back. He's hurt, I think, his ego and his face. Yeah, you can only get whooped so many times, bro. Snickers. Please let me fight, Turkey. My hand was broken. No. Your ass was broken. I cannot give you another fight. Please. Just one more. I'm almost through with my condo. Please. My bitch wife is trying to take more money. She took me back to court, Turkey. Please. No. See Andy out. No, please. For the love of God, please. Most fighters want Turkey's money. Ruiz just wants Turkey's legs. I want both. I want the turkey legs and I want the turkey money. Please. 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 Turkey. Saying your name makes me hungry. Please. The spin defense, Malik Scott. Yeah, he got spin around. Listen, I could have. Look. Now I know I laughed a little too hard when Wilder got knocked out. And he got caught, man. I was like, oh man. And the way he turned, he got hit and turned his back. You fucking dumbass. You'd never do that. Bow, I got hit and I tried to spit out. Oh man. Spit around, get out on the ground. And you know what's bad? I'm gonna tell you what's really bad. This is what makes that really bad. What makes that really bad is when Wilder got knocked out, AJ and Eddie and all the motherfuckers were sitting there to watch him take last ass whooping. Oh, it fucking bloody hell, he got knocked out. I can't fight him now. His legs are skinny, isn't it? Yeah, they bloody skinny. This thing's tough, isn't he? Yeah, they were pissed off, man. They see when Wilder got knocked out, they were like, come on, man, let's all go home. Fuck. It's almost like they had their cards and they're like, oh fuck. Yeah, he's done, man. I have mixed feelings about Malik. And the reason I have mixed feelings about Malik is because, like I said, we've told the motherfucker to keep his hands up. He just didn't keep his hands up. Sorry, he just didn't do it. He couldn't deal. His ass was throwing it right and leveling the shit down. And Zhilei Zhang, boop, come over that right hook, knocked his ass, spin him around, hit him again, spin him around again, down he went. There you go. Oh man. Yo man, I laughed. I'm thinking about how I laughed and laughed. Because that shit was just, I was just stuck. Because of the way, bow, bow. You know, Wilder was talking. He gets hit and he starts complaining. When that happens, you know you're hurt. Because to be fair, I remember when Ika Barabucci hit Chris Brown with this punch. Not Chris Brown, I'm sorry. When he hit, Chris Brown, Jesus. When he hit Chris Bird with that right uppercut, Chris Bird was complaining to the ref like, man, you know, man, yeah. And you could tell that he didn't know where he was, because when you get hit, you start complaining as though someone did you like some kind of injustice. Like that didn't supposed to happen. You know what I mean? But no, it did happen. You got hit so hard, you can't function. You can't regulate like what happened to you. You know what I mean? Cerebral, bro. Your cerebral damage. Okay, that's crucial. That is crucial. Kung Fu Panda beats Groot, whatever. I don't know what that means. Yeah, he's getting hit, man. So yeah, but I think that's a thing. That's a pattern. You get hit, and you're really hurt. You start to complain when there's no need to complain. You know, that's probably your ego talking. Bow, motherfucker! I know he just didn't hit me like that. Bow. Yeah, man. When Zhang hit Wilder, I feel bad for Wilder though, man. But it was fucking hilarious. Yeah, man. And it's like, and if you really look at that, people, Joshua looking at that shit firsthand, being able to really look at his rival go down like that. Now, did he look like he was satisfied, happy? No, he didn't. You know what I mean? But I can guarantee you this. Wilder was happy as fuck when Ruiz beat the shit out of Joshua. He came on SportsCenter with that shit. Yeah, it was cowardly. It was a disgrace how Anthony Joshua conducted himself. I told you his whole career was full of lies and contradiction. I told everybody that would listen, he wasn't a real champion. He didn't even have the heart of a real champion. He got beat by Ruiz. My hat goes off to him. But I've been telling y'all the whole time that Joshua was a clown. He was a liar. And Eddie Hearn is Annabelle. He's milking Annabelle. Oh, he was glad to hear that. Yeah, he was the first one that responded. Wilder. And he said, look, Wilder couldn't have been as happy, any happier as he's ever been in his whole career as when June 1st happened to Anthony Joshua. When Ruiz caught Joshua that left hook and stiffened up his damn legs and put his ass to the ground, then put his ass to the ground again, then put his ass to the ground again, and then put his ass to the ground again. Wilder was probably at home with a rock hard cock. Wilder was probably rock hard. Yeah, I told y'all. Man, get that away from me, man. Well, I'm just trying to show y'all. No, get it away. Wilder was the happiest man ever, bro. He was happy. But you know what? Who wasn't happy? Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller was like, you know, seriously. And he was like that simply because that could have been him. If he wouldn't decided to sabotage his own damn fight, he could have been that one that did that to Anthony Joshua. That could have been his claim of fame. That could have been his $1 million, his first $1 million bag. You know what I mean? That was his jackpot. He could have done that. But I think he knows that. I think their expression on the way he acted and his reaction from Andy Ruiz beating the shit out of Anthony Joshua was simply that. Like, damn, that could have been me. I ain't jumping up and down. I'm not smiling. I'm not happy. I'm not praising. I'm not high-fiving. I'm not fist bumping. I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm not doing that at all. I'm pissed because that could have been me. If it wasn't for me getting in my own way, trying to shoot some pills or take some a syringe up my ass to try to cheat, I would have been $7 million richer with 3 out of 4 of the belts. At least for a little while or whatever. You know what I mean? We don't know how long that actually would have been. You know? Let's just call it what it is. We don't know. We have no idea. Kurt, what's the worst knockout you've seen in boxing? Man, you know, there's a lot of like bad knockouts, man. Probably the worst. I'm thinking about that because see, knockouts means exactly what that means, not TKOs. A lot of people, you know, don't know the difference between a knockout and a TKO. TKO is technically you're knocked out because either the referee stopped it, the corner stopped it, or the fighter just could not continue. You know, when he got up, you know, a lot of fighters get up and they don't continue. That's not a knockout unless he gets up, staggers, and just falls back down. You know what I mean? But even that, I think, is considered a technical knockout. You know, I've seen guys like Tyson hit guys and them dudes trying to get up. They've been hit so hard that their damn computer scrambled, okay? Their computer is scrambled. Real talk. But no, knocked out cold. You know, okay, I think probably the worst knockout that I've saw that it has to be on the list is when David Tua fought John the Quiet Man Ruiz. That was probably one of the worst knockouts that I've ever saw, and it was absolutely hilarious. David Tua, I mean, the first round, David Tua just said, fuck it, I'm gonna rip off a left hook. And David Tua ended up catching him, bro. David Tua caught him with that left hook, bro. He caught John Ruiz. He caught John Ruiz with that shot, man. John Ruiz got caught with that shot. And it was so bad that David knew he had him. So David just kind of jogged over there and just started hammering away at him. And see, not only did he get hit with a clean shot that hurt him like the Dickens, he got caught with a shot and knocked him back, but then he got caught with about 3 other shots, maybe even 4. And let me tell you about that 4th shot. The 4th shot was probably the most damaging because it kind of puts you in the mind of he was pretty much stuck when when David hit John the Quiet Man Ruiz. When he hit him, bro, he hit him and he just kind of and he nailed him, and that knocked John Ruiz. I gotta get some gas. Into the ropes. When it knocked him into the ropes, David Tool was coming. He went over. He marched over there, bro. He kind of did a little jog. That was the sequence. Because John Ruiz was out, he was out of it, but he seen big ass David coming. And he was kind of hanging on the ropes like, oh shit, let me get up. And David starts swelling at his ass, bro. He started welling at him. And then John Ruiz was sad because John Ruiz was trying to fight with him. He was, but each time he would swing, David Tool would already be in sights of hitting him. That's not my name. My name is not Curtis. Theo, Bernard Hopkins versus Joe Smith. Nah, that's not a knockout. He just knocked him out of the ring. That's not a knockout. I've seen knockouts, bro. Oleg Moskayev knocked out Hasim Rahman and put his ass through the ropes. Kirk Johnson knocked out Oleg Moskayev and I think put him through the fucking ropes. Oh yeah. Nah, it's all good, man. It's just pet peeve. I hate when people call me Curtis. That's not my name. White KO on Lucas Brown. White KO. That was okay. It was okay. I mean, I've seen worse. David Tua hitting John Ruiz, bro, was probably the worst knockout I ever witnessed. Because not only did Tua hit him, he hit him and then hurt him and then knocked him out. So he caught him with that shot, and then, you know, he tried to recover. He wasn't recovering. And then David Tua, bow, 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 bow. And then right before he left, he, one for the road, motherfucker. And he hit him. And then fucking John Reed just, he was just like this. Straight on his back, bro. He was done. He was done. Glenn Johnson versus Roy Jones. Roy Jones was shot. He was shot by then. I mean, Roy got knocked out too many times like that. Tarver, Glenn, a lot of other guys, to be fair. You know, he just, his resistance is gone. Tommy Mercer versus, that was probably one of the most brutal beatings that I remember seeing. Oh yeah, he was knocked out too. So that probably, that ranks probably number 1. But understand, there's been knockouts that didn't end well, that people did not wake up from. Wilder versus Spilka will always be on that top list, especially at least in the top 10. Wilder hit Spilka with one shot perfect and knocked his ass out. They had to leave. They had to, man, he went out like Gerald McClellan almost. When they put your ass on a gurney, you're fucked. If you can't walk out of the ring, you're fucked. I'm just, you know. Anthony Joshua knocking out Francis Ngannou. That was bad. Fuck. Dillian White getting knocked out by Povetkin. Anybody that needs oxygen, bro, they're gone. And I think that's definitely a candidate. You know? Julian Jackson over Harold Graham was. Julian used to knock people out. Boom! Then he'll go. Yeah, man, that shit was hilarious. KO, Lennox KO of Rockman. Yeah, he knocked out Rockman. Rockman was bleeding all out the face and shit. Yeah, he was starched. If I was Rockman, I'm like, dude, let's do it. I'd be like Andy, let's do a Trinity. Damn, Andy got spoiled by the Anthony Joshua dollar. Mm, mm, mm. I mean, that's all that happened, Andy. Andy was hungry until he got that fight. Then he wasn't hungry no more. Manny Marquez Marquez knocking out Manny Pacquiao was scary. I was probably more, because I mean the way he got hit him, and I was at a bar, bro. I'll never forget this time, man. Let me tell you guys I like to tell you guys a story. Okay. And here's the thing. Here's the deal. I remember that like it was yesterday. I had probably did my third or fourth feature film, December of 2012. And I went on this premiere with okay, this was Rook. So I finished Rook. We seen the premiere. Everybody, the cast, after we saw the premiere, we took Ubers downtown and we began getting shit-faced drunk. I mean, the type of drinking that you do that like on weddings or weddings or something like that. And I remember that was a Friday, so that probably was the 7th. So the 7th through the 8th in the morning, I got shit-faced drunk. Well, to be honest with you guys, I was so hungover on the Saturday that I didn't even really know that I wanted to watch the fight. I just wanted to stay in bed because I was so hungover, because we finished this premiere. Again, this is probably maybe the third or fourth film that I've done that I was actually supporting actor in. So, I was proud of it, and along with everyone else, with the success of the movie and all this, that, and the other. But I got too drunk. So I decided, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get myself together. And I'm going to go to Fatty Arbuckle's. Not Fatty Arbuckle's, I'm sorry. What's the name of the place? Fast Eddie's. It was a pool hall. So Fast Eddie's was the spot. You paid an extra, I think it was, at that time, it was like $11. I know they went up. They used to charge they started charging like 15, 20 bucks. And I'm like, Jesus, man, what's the deal? So that's what happened. I ended up watching it with good friends and company there, because everybody used to go pay that extra money to see those fights with Manny Pacquiao, because, Manny Pacquiao was the man. Because remember, we didn't really have heavyweight boxing. We didn't really have that, did we? We didn't have that at the time. We just had welterweights. De La Hoya was retired. Manny retired him. Floyd Mayweather was still around, of course. Or was he? Yeah, he was still around. And it was so much commotion going on, and I had a stomach ache, so I really didn't know. I was kind of in and out. But I seen the fight, and I was like, dude, Manny just got knocked down, and this was the third round. But the end of the 6th, when he got caught, I'm like, what the hell did he get hit with? So, you really didn't see the punch. Watching it up on people all loud, and, the commotion's going and all this. So, Mr. Kurt, what it do, man? Prez the investor, counterpunch to you. He was cherry picking. Manny was cherry picking? Who was cherry picking? Or was it Floyd cherry picking? I don't know. Samoan boxer James Thunder versus Crawford Grimsey, 3 seconds, KO. I remember Jimmy Thunder. You know, Jimmy Thunder died in Vegas, bro. He died a few years ago. I don't know what he was doing necessarily, to be honest with you. Tank versus Santa Cruz. Yeah, that was a knockout. Yeah, it was definitely a knockout. So, let me get this party started. Wilfredo Benitez, Maurice Hope, Tyson versus McNeely. Man, I remember seeing that fight as a kid. Like, I might have been ninth grade, maybe, going into the ninth grade. Young, dumb, full of cum, literally. And I'll tell you guys about that whole day. I used to date a girl up the street from my house. And I didn't have my license yet, but I could drive, you know, because I was practicing with my dad and shit like that. And crazy thing was, I wanted to watch the fight. But my dad, you know, he was strict at the time. I had a real strict father, real strict parents. You know, it kind of sucked growing up, to be honest with you. But they didn't let me do shit. So I was like, cool. I'll say I'm going right up the road and hang out with the girl that I was dating. But instead, I didn't do that. I shot to Bossier City, which was about 30 miles away, and watched the fight at a guy named Billy's house with a bunch of other knuckleheads. So once we did that, everybody, well, I don't know where Billy's family was or parents were, right? Wherever the hell they weren't there that day. And because they weren't there that day, they were smoking weed and drinking and everything. And I didn't either at the time, to be fair. I mean, I was 15, so I didn't drink nor smoke at that time. You know, pretended I did, but I did not. I just wanted to see the fight. And we saw what we saw. And first round, it was over. You know, I got back in my dad's 1988 Plymouth Reliant, which is one of the ugliest fucking cars on the face of the planet. Went to drive home, and the cops pulled me over. And cops pulled me over because my green ass didn't have the lights on. Now, if it wasn't for that, I would have been fine. Whitey McCrackerson, Counterpunch to you. That's the narc car. Yeah, it was one of those cheap, real cheap Plymouth cars that they just suck, bro. And I got pulled over, and I was 15 years old. I'll never forget this. The cops were so dickish to the point where, like, they were like, oh yeah, where's the drugs? Where's the marijuana? Where's the crack? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm just going home. You know, and they asked me for a license. I was like, well, I don't have a license, but I forgot my permit at home. That was a lie. I didn't have a permit at all. Why the hell would I need a permit if I could just get the license? You know, I hadn't taken the test. I think back then you had to be 16 years of age. We didn't have all this shit connected to, hey, you got to go to defensive driving driver's ed first. Love you, Kurt. Your boxing channel is a real pleasure of mine. Appreciate you, Mr. McCrackerson. But yeah, they start doing stupid shit like, hey man, yeah, put your, what are you doing? You're robbing people? Yeah, put it down over your head. Put it in. They were like snatching the shit down. And I was like, yo, this is some bullshit. And then when my parents came, they were different. Because I guess they thought, okay, because I was my height as a teenager. So I guess they thought I was just, young knucklehead guy that, was up to no good and all that shit. I was just a guy that just saw a fight and just wanted to go home. So they drove me home. Oh yeah, sorry guys. I'm sorry, Mr. Ville. My dad, dude, chewed me the hell out. Yeah, I remember that fight real well. That was the story that was attached to it. Did Foreman KO Frazier in the second fight when he lifted him off? No. He only fought Frazier. Well, no, Frazier fought him once. No, he fought him twice. He did fight him twice. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, we were around the same age. Yep. Yeah, man, that was a piece of shit car. It was like the carburetors were so bad, you had to floor it because it was just like. Dude, I had a couple of dates in that car. It was so embarrassing. No wonder I ain't get any action. You know what I'm saying? Not in a car like that. Who wants to be in the back seat of a damn squared up, ugly ass Plymouth? And my dad, being the being the guy he is, he puts a blue visor in the front. So now you got a big fucking blue visor that's across the fucking hood. Now, and not only it's the ugliest car ever, it has a big blue ass clown visor like you're joining the circus or something. It was horrific. I don't know what he did with the car, but whatever he did with it, I'm glad it's gone. I hated that car too. Bro, I hated that car. That car was absolutely terrible. With the capital T. It was terrible, man. Damn visor on the front of it. Like, come on, man, you couldn't. The car was like and it was a light blue car, and the visor was a lighter, brighter blue visor. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It was so bad. Imagine driving around, a fucking 16-year-old boy driving around in that piece of shit. Hey, if you had to go, if you wanted to go somewhere, you were going to take what was available. And we needed to get out of the sticks because, again, I was young, dumb, and full of you-know-what, So, those were the times, man. Those were the times. This was probably all of 94. Yeah, 94, 95, 96. Those years, dude, they were just like, hey, they're all like every weekend was kind of like watching House Party to me. Because it's like, hey, you're either going to get your ass whooped when you get home, or you're going to get grounded that you'll never go out for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So you got to make sure everything's perfect. So it has to be worth the sacrifice of staying out late. Because nobody that comes home early is going to get what he wants to get because people are not ready. We didn't have cell phones back then. Not us. We didn't have that type of shit. So you had to either call someone, let them know that you're coming, Then if you had someone game, you got to know where to go. Park. We had what you call Kleinfant Parkway. And they had CB Dickinson, which was another park, which, I'm talking about places you couldn't. I didn't have money for a hotel or any of that stuff, so it was pretty tough for me. No, I had a pager and a pocket change for the phone booth. Yeah, and then here's the problem. If you called someone and they didn't answer, you're like, damn, they might have been on the shitter or something. So it was tough. But the good thing was your parents couldn't catch you. If they didn't know where you were, they just got to wait till you get home. That's why, back then the parents used to wait in the living room and see when you got home and all that, this, that, and the other. So, No, I had a pager. Was your car worse than Smokey's from Fridays? No, I don't think so. I don't think if it, I think, well, you know what? Yeah, it was. Because at least Smokey's was actually a good looking car. You know, I would rather drive that because it had some size to it. That other shit did not. Like when you had it was small, it was ugly, it was, it was nothing good about that car at all. Nothing. I'm like, you know, and the chick's sitting there like, what's wrong with your car? Yeah, the good old days, man. I didn't have my brother had a pager, and you know, I didn't have one. I borrowed his to look cool. You know, those were back in those days like Skilo. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a good girl in the hood. I would call her. Oh God, crazy times, man. I wish I had a rabbit and a hat and a bat and a 6-foot baller. Yeah, man. So definitely people could relate to that, man. It's just crazy stuff, man. Kurt, my side is hurting. Yeah, man. Shit was terrible back then. You know? And like, it was like the quest, you know, like, and it wasn't the fact that I couldn't get dates. That wasn't the problem. Bro, the problem was I lived out in the boonies and then went to school in the city. Dude, that sucked. If you guys understand how it is, like, see, you had country girls, then you had school, like country schools. I didn't have that type of simplicity. My thing was, my mom was a teacher, okay? My mother was a teacher. So since she was a teacher, she taught in a parish, because we have parishes in Louisiana, and it was in the city of Bossier. You know, we were from a smaller town, much smaller. Well, that much smaller town had its own action, but I didn't have any of that action because I didn't know anybody, because I didn't go to that school. Well, when you got home, when you left school, you would go to that town. Well, that town, you know no one except the people you're related to. And since you were related to those people, I mean, that ain't nobody you really want to see or talk to. So this is what ended up happening. You would have to find your way back to Bossier. Well, if you don't have any car, you're SOL. So what are you going to do then? Well, you got to ask someone, hey, Dad, can I borrow the car? Hey, Mom, can I borrow your car? And then more than likely, they'll tell you, no, you can't. Sometimes they may tell you, hey, I'll let you borrow it as long as I'm at home. Okay, but you can't just get in the car if you won't let us know. Well, how are you going to know unless we know where you're at to call you to ask you if we can borrow the car? You won't. So that was one of the good things about the times, and then the bad things. Wait till I get home. Well, what if you don't fucking get home to 10 p.m.? You ain't going anywhere. So, you know, those times. So imagine a Friday night, you're just sitting there and chicks are like, oh, my parents are gone for the weekend. Can you come over? And you're sitting there like, oh, you know, and then you start thinking, what time did Dad get home last weekend? If he gets home at 11 and it's 7:30 right now, I can be there by 8:10, right? Get it in, get back before he gets back. That type of stuff. So, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, man. Sometimes it worked, but then sometimes it did not. I remember one time, I'll never forget this day. I used to date this chick that we were game. Everything was good. And I had started drinking at this time. So the chick wanted to see me, and I was like, you know what? Why not? I jumped in my dad's ugly ass Plymouth, that same car that we were bitching about, and took off. You know, I think I pushed it up the hill and like kind of pushed it down the road, then cranked up and shot out. What's up, Whitey? What questions do you have? Lay them on me. Came there, did my thing with the chick, comes back home. Guess who's in the front yard? The sheriffs. The sheriffs are in the front yard. Big, tall cat. This dude's probably like, he was way up here, like Tyson Fury's height. You know where you've been? Where you been? You know your parents have called the police on you, stole a car. I'm like, how did I steal a car and they know I was in it? Little smart ass. We're gonna book you for stealing. Wait a minute. Is that beer on your breath? Let me smell your breath. See, there you go. We got you drinking and driving right there. You want to go for some more? So I'm like, dude, whatever, man. Let's see. Is Monday still the deadline? List who you consider top 5 heavyweights of all time. Joe Louis, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, of course. Heavyweights. Who would the last one be? Let me see. I don't know. I don't know who the 5th one would be. I don't know who I could put in that slot. You know, I don't know if it was I don't know. Because I want to say Jack Dempsey or Jack Johnson. Maybe Jack Johnson. Now, Jack Dempsey would be on top 10. Usyk's career is not over yet, so I have to see what he's going to do. He would be in the top 10, but it's based on what he does. Does he beat Tyson Fury? He's definitely #1 heavyweight in the world now, right? Better not say Andy. You can't say Andy. Andy has not been consistent enough. He hasn't been consistent enough to be considered to be anything, to do anything. He was just that guy that's been the first Mexican American or Mexican heavyweight or heavyweight of Mexican heritage ever. He's been the first and the only. He could always say that. Andy Ruiz has made history. He could always say, you know, I'm the first heavyweight. I'm like Blade. They're just the first heavyweight. There's only going to be one heavyweight Mexican, and I'm the only heavyweight Mexican. Andy just wants a check. Yeah, Andy just wants that money. I have kids, man. Damn. Bitches taking all my money, all my cheddar, all my cheese. Bitch. Bitch is taking all my money. Crazy, man. Eddie, please. Give me the opportunity to fight Anthony. And then, you know, now it's all about Turkey, please. Assalamu alaikum in the name of Jesus, Lord. Give me the opportunity, please. I'm like, dude, you beg more than a fucking beggar on the Highway 183. Jesus Christ. Somebody give Andy a fight in it, please. Give this guy a fight. For the love of God. Never seen anybody beg and walk the treadmill as much as Andy Ruiz. Please. Am I dead yet? Counterpunch to you. And what's crazy, people are starting to wake up. And I haven't went to sleep yet. You know, I'm still fuming off of, if you guys have just came, I'm talking all over the place because this was originally for a movie review, okay? Me and Boxing Wave are gonna get together and do a channel about movies. Sure, you can throw boxing in there, but it's primary about movies, okay? So we're gonna get together. I think that would be dope, dope concept. And you know, and most of us, what I've noticed about the audience that we're in is awesome. You know, it's awesome simply because everyone is relatable, because a lot of us are the same age. You know, between that 35 and 45 age, or 35 and 50. You know, so if you are around that age bracket, you can pretty much relate to the movies and the things that, you know, that we've seen, or, you know, the stuff that we've been through, right? So, but yeah, for the ones that are just coming on the chat, you know, I've been here, damn, this is over 2 hours now, but understand something about movies. I'm a big movie fan, man. Huge movie fan. And I just saw Romulus. It was everything. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but it looked good. It looked like the, you know, but of course, any preview due to editing and suspense, and, you know, that could be what it is. I just can't stand previews that show you the whole fucking movie. You don't even have to see the movie. You've already saw the movie. You saw the high points. You saw what happens. You saw the plot. You saw what takes place. You see who's going to win. You see who's going to lose. I hate when people do long previews that they like, dude, can you give suspense at some point? Can you give us a little suspense, will you? Give us some suspense, will you? Well, Romulus has exactly that. Because yeah, you know it's aliens, but it's like it's twist to the plot. When you see it, you know what I'm talking about. And I think the suspense is what sells you the movie, not all this other shit, you know? At all. At all, people. Like, if somebody's gonna tell you about a movie, you might as well just don't watch it. That's how I'm like, man. I don't like for someone. I never felt that I needed to see everything with a movie or about a movie to see a movie. I just show me, well, okay, what is it about? Oh, it's about this boxer that does this. Okay, cool. Shut up. I don't need to hear anything else. I don't need to hear you tell me what you think the movie is. The Miss has the best ending. Yeah, I don't like it when trailers run the movie. It should be shorter. Yeah, let some suspense hit you. Let your mind originally progress or imagine what happens. Like, man, I bet you that's a good movie. What happens now? You know. I love Deadpool and Wolverine. And I was gonna do a review on that because that was dope. When I seen Blade, bro, I was the only one, and I don't know, I was in Fort Worth, Texas, and I mean, probably I was with a lot of younger audience, you know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe in the 90s, they probably wouldn't even fucking alive. Think about it, you know, like Blade was in like 96, 97, right? Beetlejuice, yeah, I love Beetlejuice, bro. I showed my kiddo Beetlejuice, and she was just like, "Who's Beetlejuice?" But yeah, good stuff, man. You're waiting on the next Riddick movie? He's gonna make one? I mean, I like Vin Diesel's movies. Um, he brings his own originality to the movie. He has a good stage presence, and and he has that deep monotone ass voice. Like him and James Earl Jones and guys like Ving Rhames. They have these distinct voices. You know what I mean? That they carry. Their voice shows dominance. It demands dominance as they speak. You know, back in the days when a movie was advertised, it was just one scene and then the title. Yeah, now they want you to see what they've done and what could happen here and what happens there. And then I'm like, dude, did you just sit and show me your whole special effects budget on the fucking trailer of the movie? Did you just do that? Yeah, people do that. Yeah. Masters of the Universe 2026. We will see how that one does. I saw that one that came out in the 80s with Dolph Lundgren. Masters of the Universe. Fucking He-Man. Yep. I used to own a lot of He-Man, bro. I used to own a lot of those shits. Damn, it's still dark as shit out here. I got the light on and everything. Mama Lou in the building. I love that movie, Masters of the Universe. You know what? Honestly, I don't remember it. I don't remember that movie. I remember the cover, but I don't remember the movie itself. I just don't. I mean, it's just been too long ago. That's like, I remember Dolph Lundgren holding the sword up. I remember Thundercats. If you guys can remember Thundercats, I remember that. Thundercats was dope. I heard the next G.I. Joe movie is going to do a crossover with Transformers like the cartoon. That would be kind of dope, I guess. I mean, you'd have to have a pretty good, you know, plot. I mean, just besides, I mean, what would bring these guys together like that? Yeah, man, Thundercats. Troy Graham in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Good morning to you. Average on Netflix is a good miniseries. Does Jake Paul have a chance? Man, I hope not. You know, because this is what happens if it's competitive. You know what that means? That means that Mike Tyson has an unwanted and needed rival. Especially if it does well, if it sells, yeah, they're gonna want to see that shit again. Somebody's gonna fork the bill. Somebody's gonna pay for that shit, and then I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see it at all. What's your advice to losing motivation, man? Please answer this. What's your advice to losing motivation? Well, at first you have to understand, where did you get the motivation from? And if you're losing motivation, you have to also ask yourself at that point, has something recently happened to hinder you from being motivated? So if it's a girlfriend you just broke up with, or someone you just hooked up with, a family member dying, you got fired, something pertaining to your lack of motivation when there was once motivation there. So I think that's what you need to really kind of pinpoint, because a lot of times that could happen. And if it is someone that you recently start talking to, or you're dealing with a breakup, that's only temporary. You have to remember something though. A lot of times, like if you're going through something and you normally you will be hindered, but that same thing that is your passion should stay your passion, your motivation. Okay. To succeed, you need consistency. You need to trust the process. Well, you can't stop. I've been through breakups all through my YouTube career. And what I've noticed about it is you have to keep going. You know, like your personal life, I think, is one thing, and then YouTube is another, but your personal life could always affect what you do, how you do it. It is a process, so if somebody came in your life that stopped that process, you need to pinpoint that and understand, okay, this is what happened. But understand, okay, if they're out of your life, that means, okay, this is just a season. So are they. They're leaf people, meaning like leaves from a tree. And leaf people do what? Leave. So, you know, so if you go to the gym, or you're a runner, or you're whatever, you're a cyclist, or whatever you do, that's positive and motivation, use it. Yakitori Soldiers of Misfortune is a well-written anime series on Netflix. I think I've heard of that. Not really big on anime, Tried to get into anime, especially since I love stuff like Samurai Showdown, Tekken. I'm a huge fan of Tekken. I'm a big Tekken fan. I love playing Tekken. And but I mean, other than that, like, I never really was a Dragon Ball guy. I know how, I seen this shit on. I was like, damn, those are some real intense cartoons, right? Yeah. Online dating versus meeting in person. Bro, online dating is straight up like Blockbuster was to Netflix. You sitting on your ass flicking right to left. Do you understand how shallow that is? Don't get me wrong, I've tried this shit. I mean, I'm no better than anybody else. But you have to try it to know what it is and how it is. And then a lot of people that you think are pretty, we have shit called IA, or AI rather. We have filters. We have all types of things that make people appear to look good or better than they really do. In fact, the people that you swipe left, you may say no, they may be one of the sexiest people that you ever wanted to meet on the face of the planet. It's just they didn't have that appeal, or have the savvy to go ahead and try to make themselves and clean up the way they look, in their faces all, you know what I mean? Like, no, bro. I hate filters, and I don't do online dating. I mean, because look, the weirdest people, or should I say, the not the boringest people, but the wackest people you can catch online. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you don't have to have personality to do this. That's all you're doing. Because people use it as a numbers game, and in fact, unfortunately, that's what it is. It is a numbers game. And when I tried to date online, that was the worst experience that I ever had in my life of trying to date anybody. I mean, it just sucked, and I did a couple. And what I noticed, you got a lot of catfish, you have a lot of liars, you have a lot of filters, You don't know a person, and then when you meet a person, you don't really know them, and then you got to ask yourself, how many times and how many dates did this person actually go on? Because if they're so quick to eager to see you, how many times did they see someone else? Come on now. Online dating sucks. Absolutely, Blaine Walker. Salute to heavyweight counterpunch boxing, karma boxing, and MMA. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, my guy. Supercell is a good super series. It's a UK series with all black cast. If I like good writing, action, time travel, and plot twist, check it out. Okay. Supercell. I think I was watching that at some point. In-person dating is much better because you have to have a sharp mind instead of thinking about what you want to say to make it sound perfect over keyboard. Yeah, I mean, but that also shows what type of person you really are. Because some people hide behind keyboards that don't have personality at all. And you run across of them. You run across, I'm not an alpha, I'm a sigma. So I have qualities like an alpha. But I mean, I like secluded things. I will pick Key West over Miami any day. Don't understand Miami. I mean, Key West still has places that are off the chain. Introverts, that's an introvert's dream, online dating, because they don't have to talk to many people. They can spend their time just texting away, and you never really meet that person. And I guess that's their own way of showing, hey, this is what I like. This is what my interests are. And I can do that without even expressing myself really in person. I'm just, yeah, that sucks. I'm too organic to date on social media. I mean, you have to be. You have to meet someone to know what they look like. If they're, do they look off? Do they look down? Do they watch you? What's their body language? How do you guys gel? You know what I mean? Everybody talks about the energy now. I'm like, dude, come on. Energy, how do you guys get the fuck along, bro? Come on. Let's try to stop trying to be savvy or, clever about words. Nothing beats eye contact. Absolutely. You see a chick ain't looking at you. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with this fucking chick? What are you, high or something? You know? You know what I mean? I'm locked in, man. And some people, though, you can tell, like, you're like, why are you looking at me like that? Like why are you? I'm like, shit, why not? I'm a grown ass man. I mean, I think you're pretty or whatever, but I was trying to have a conversation with you. Some people are just like, why are you looking at me? Stop to look at me. What? Get out. Just go. Matter of fact, let me go. Yeah, it's crazy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, and then see, here's the thing. I would rather go on a blind date than just do social media. Because I mean, at least you will see what's in front of you. Now they can always lie to you about being married or having a boyfriend or whatever, but they can't lie about what they look like. You know what I mean? Now you can see them firsthand. Like, hey man, this is my girl Stephanie. Stephanie brought her home girl Melanie. Melanie, this Kurt, this Melanie. Okay. And then you're like, hey, how you doing? Then you can see, okay, are they pretty? Do they have jacked up teeth? Are they cockeyed? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Do they have bad skin? Do they have hair? Are they hairy? Do they smell? How tall they are? Can they talk? Are they smart? You know what I mean? Can they hold a conversation? Do they talk too much? Are they too quiet? You learn a lot that quick about people. That's funny and scary. A dude named Psycho Crusher needing eye contact. Psycho Crusher. Maybe he crushes psychos. Counterpunch. Who has time for that nonsense? You can't even compliment these females anymore. This generation is whack. Well, here's the thing about dating, though. You have to look at dating and why you want to date. Like, are you looking to just slam? Are you looking for like true connection? Well, true connection is hard to find. It's harder than just to meet someone to do that because you require more. That requires more research and more commitment, and you expect more out of a person based on what you want. And I think it's just a different situation all around when you're looking for that and then you can't find it and it gets discouraging. But all you need is one, especially if you're that monogamous man, like you guys know, like for me, um, I was actually the opposite. I needed three or four women to complete me. You know what I mean? That was just me, like, and it's not like me being a whore out there. No, I needed to date four women, and then that was just kind of like, damn, but then people might think that's cool, that DJ Polite shit. And it's really kind of more of responsibility. You know what I mean? If you think about it, you think, oh, Kurt got it going on. No, Kurt got problems and the chicks are one. Maybe two, maybe three, maybe four. So it's not really a good thing or a positive thing to have that many women around, especially if you go through the same thing, or especially when you have mutual feelings, or similar feelings. You have feelings for these people. It ain't like you just, oh, just slam one and and kick rocks. No, it don't work that way. That's just being a player. That's totally different from what I'm talking about. Totally different. It's crazy how they say Japanese women are not dating in Japan. If I was over there, I'd take them all. Japan. That's one country in Asia that I do want to visit for my own personal and selfish reasons. I love I love Asian women. I love all women, but I like Asian women. So since I love all women, I do buy Asians by default. But there are some very attractive women in Japan. Read a lot about Japan and things of that nature. I would love to go, and I haven't been. Had an opportunity to go early last year, but did not go. I'm glad I didn't because a lot of stuff happened in between time to go versus time to book the ticket. Dating online and not meeting them is not dating. It's nothing. St. Don, that is so true. That's why one of my favorite shows watching television was Catfish. Bro, and Catfish was just like, it was very rewarding seeing people get busted because it's too many people that are lonely wherever in the world, especially in the UK and in the USA. They're pretty similar. Like the societies are, a lot alike since UK used to own the 13 colonies. So a lot of English culture are here, a lot of things and traditions and customs that we want and we desire as people with morals. And then you meet someone and you're lonely because things didn't happen the way you wanted to, and then you want to find somebody, and then then someone introduced you to some shit online, and it's like, hey, why don't you try this? Let me tell you guys a story. I have some cousins. They're older, but they were involved in some of the saddest shit ever in life. And like, I had two cousins, and they were both once were married, and then they divorced or whatever, and then they were trying to date. Well, someone hipped them to online dating, and they were one was dating someone in China, and I think the other one was dating someone in the Philippines. And both of these guys got taken to the cleaners because they were talking to some diabolical skank, rip you off bitches that were taking their money. that were giving them sad stories, and they were sending money through Western Union or however the hell they were sending it. They were sending their damn money to these women that you've never fucking met. And I just thought that was crazy. Kurt, do you believe that we are meant to suffer on this planet, then later on live in peace? Well, I think we are meant to go through things to know what it's like, to respect when things are normal. Because, see, normality is a gift where a lot of people don't appreciate it because normality becomes it becomes you become accustomed to normality unless something fucked up happens that it doesn't go to plan. Then when it doesn't go to plan, you're like, okay, wow, wait, damn, I wish things were back to what? Normal. Then when you do get back to normal, you start to respect what normal is. I have a friend with the same name. So, but then when something does good happen, then you could really appreciate that. Did you know Bukim Woodbine is a martial artist? He practiced under Sifu Shi Yang Shaolin Kung Fu. I would to see him as the new Blade. Well, here's the truth of the matter. Bukim Woodbine is probably the same as Mahershala Ali is. And then here's the thing. Mahershala Ali was casted as the latest Blade. But it didn't get released because it was too bad. The script was too bad. No one liked the script. Those Western Union guys and those passport bros are ruining the game. Well, passport bros. This is what I can tell you about dating abroad. You're talking to the right person. If you're dating anybody from any country, you have to, first of all, understand the condition of that country, the tradition of that family that you're talking about. Passport bros, to me, are a bunch of guys that are dorks that don't get play from where they're at. Right? They don't get play from where they're at. See, I don't have any problem getting dates where I live. It just so happened I go places and meet women there. I don't go there to meet women. That's the difference. I want to go to the UK. I'm not going to the UK to meet chicks. I'm going to the UK because I want to visit the UK or Canada or Brazil. I went to Brazil. Sure, I know there's a whole bunch of fine women in Brazil, but I went there for capoeira. I went there for samba. I went there for bossa nova. I went there for culture. I didn't go there to say, hey, yeah, man, let's go slam chicks. No, that's that mindset. I don't have that type mindset. Because I know, okay, that's probably going to happen when you get there, but that's not going to stop my itinerary. My itinerary is, okay, I'm going to go over there and see Gilberto Gil, perform in Ipanema. And then that's Monday. Then Tuesday, I'm going to go see the statue. Then Wednesday, I'm going to see Elian Elias, Bossa Nova. So yes, those type of things I go to do, and then see, here's the deal. You can meet people while doing that have that same interest, that actually live there. It's called being well-rounded. Passport bros are those type of people that convince other guys that are mostly likely dorks, that have no play, that have no conversation, and they're guys that are scorn, I guess. They're convinced that, American women are trash. They're modern. A lot of modern women are trash. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but not all of them. put everybody in this thing and just say, hey, I'm going to go over here to the Philippines or wherever and meet some desperate ass person that's trying to get back to the States. And you think that their true or primary motivation is to love you and only you because of you. No, because of you, where you come from. Not because of you. They don't give a shit what you are. Oh, you got a fat belly, you're going bald. I love you. No, I love the fact that you can take my ass away from this country and bring me to your country. So I can get there, act like my shit don't stink, have a couple of your babies, then divorce you, then say sayonara, motherfucker. It's over. And, oh, before that, I will bring my sister and my mom and my dad and my cousins. I will bring them all to your house before I divorce your ass. On that note, see you later. Kurt, if you come to the UK, bring the umbrella. Okay. Damn, it rains like that. I feel you, Kurt. A lot of people don't appreciate God's grace over people's lives. No, they don't. John David Washington should take over the Black Panther movie. That's where you get Wesley Snipes to come in and go co-write the script and choreograph a fight scene. Watch Halo Buhim showcase some of the fighting skills in that series. Honestly, I don't think he will fit. He just doesn't fit the part. Now that is a surprise. I didn't know Bukeem Woodbine, Mr. Strapped, 3,000 miles to Graceland, Jason's Lyric, Devil. Yeah, I know who he is. But I just don't think he fits the script. I don't think he fits that role as Blade. I just don't. So honestly, I think Wesley's going to revive that movie. He's going to revive Blade. He's going to come back as Blade, but he's going to be an older Blade. And you know what I mean? And it all makes sense. And and because Wesley started this Marvel shit, and I think he should end it. Or continue it, because I don't think Marvel's going to go anywhere. See, Marvel in the 1990s, Howard the Duck, Punisher, Fantastic Four. Bro, those movies suck. Now, I did like The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. It was rated R with Louis Gossett Jr. as a co-star. But understand, they were getting their ass handed to them by DC. DC had Batman, 10 of them. Batman, Batman Begins, Batman Forever. You know what I mean? Batman and Robin. They had Batman up the ass, people. Nobody goes to the UK for women or food. In the Philippines, you don't marry a woman, you marry the family. Yep, that's true. Psycho Crusher, I love Filipino women. What's not to love? You like it, me? I like it, you. I've dated a lot of Filipino women too. Kamusta? Great, if you go to the UK, you better learn Krav Maga because they use knives out there. Yeah, I heard. Yeah. I've dated 4 or 5 Filipino women. Mr. Turkey wants Macaulay versus Zhang in China. That would be very bold. Let's see if Turkey can convince Frank Warren to do so. If it's safe to say that foreign country are the worst or women here in America, Kurt. Wait, is it safe to say that foreign? Listen, the point is about that. In America, we have a modern infrastructure of women. They're modern. Most women here in the States make more money than men. Those that make more money than men, they tend not to be married because they make more money. They have a lot of masculine energy.
They're difficult because they're selfish, because they don't need to abide or submit to anybody, because they're accustomed to making the money that they've made. They've worked their ass off, and they've got to where they've got. However, they got to where they got, and that's where it's at. So, would some of them like to date someone? Sure, but it's mostly someone that has more money than them, not someone that would probably really love them or be the best for them. So it kind of changes. It's contradicting. Whereas someone in another country, the problem is, let's say you go to DR. For those who don't know about Dominican women are very loving for the most part. I'm just using that country as an example of many. But it's also like the women, the ones that were taught worth a damn, were taught to serve. Cook, clean, nurture, shit like that. But then the problem I've noticed of that area, because I have family in DR, what I've noticed about DR is the women now, the men, those fucking passport bros, they go over there and they use DR like a leisure station to get their rocks off. So it's been so many Americans that went over there to DR throwing money around that the perception of women have changed, because so many other women, even the women that don't sell their bodies or prostitute their bodies, they see other people that do, and they see how they profit from them. So it is a temptation to, like, you know what, why don't I do what this other broad's done? She got this fat ass dude that he's been throwing her $200 or $300 a day hanging around. He probably gave her $1,000 for 5 days that he was out here, just to hang around him and rub on his stomach and fill on his ass and do whatever he wants him to do. Those type of things have changed the perception of a lot of people, you know. And everything now is about gifts and doing this and doing that. And I'm like, what the hell is that about? You know, tú tienes un regalo para mí. No, I don't. I don't have a present for you. Why the hell would I have a present for you? I don't know you. And it's crazy. Like, that's what you have there. So I think you've had a saturation of a lot of American bullshit that has went through that country. But understand, the condition of that country, people are poor. So you don't really know if they are there for you or they're there for the support from you. So that's the problem. Whereas here, people ain't gonna really like the creme de la creme, or whatever you perceive to be like hot women, attractive women. A lot of them are just so difficult that they're not really worth dealing with, because they got so much shit going on. And who are you? So you don't really know what it is. The best thing you should have, and the best person you should have, is a person that already has something to work for and to strive for. When you meet them, then they have something to add. It would be actually a sacrifice if you really got serious with them, taking their ass back to the States, because they actually have a functional life where they're at. That's the type of person you want to marry. Someone that's sitting around in salons or a fucking bodega or wherever, just chilling, and you meet them, start talking to them, and, oh, you're fine, you got a big booty. You know what I mean? Well, what were they doing before you met them? Probably nothing. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's not, no. What's up, Kurt? I got up to pee, and bam, you're on. Jose Chavez en la casa. ¿Cómo estás tú, número uno? O número dos. Who knows? Recarga. Yeah. Recarga. No, I don't have any present for you. So you can see that. You can see that shit a mile away. And it's like, basically, it's another way of prostitution. I lived in Brazil a year. So you know, and really Brazilian women, here's the thing. If you can meet women in any place, for one, stay away from prostitutes. Two, learn the language where you're going. Don't be the ignorant gringo that goes to those places. You know what I mean? Don't be that person that don't know shit. Don't be that person with a damn phone shoving it in the chick's face talking about what's your name. Motherfucker, if you can't say what's your name, you shouldn't be there. You know, you talk about travel, bro. I know travel. You know, always go with someone too. Never go by yourself, especially if you don't know the layout, you don't know the country, you don't know anything. Because it ain't the guys that are after you, bro. A lot of people think in Brazil and DR and all these other places, you know, because I've been to Dominica, Bahamas, Barbados, Jamaica, you know, and honestly, the smaller islands are actually better. You meet more down to earth people. You know what I mean? You want that diamond in the rough. You want that person that's been working at that shop for 5 years that owns her own shit, and you meet her, fall in love, and then you guys can split the time between that island where you met her from and where you live. That's what you want. You don't want any shit like some bad broad that's been through 20 dudes in the last 3 years, you know, dated a few Americans, then flew out. Oh, I've got a visa. How'd you get that? Oh, well, Richard Jackson got it for me. Who's Richard? Oh, ex-boyfriend from a year and a half ago. No. That chick's been ran through and she's accustomed to shit. So when you're not there, she's constantly asking for money and all that. Nah. Nope. Nope. You know. Yeah, you got to have somebody that knows what they're doing. Like this year, I went to Cartagena. I never been to Cartagena. I've been to Bogota twice before. Been to the capital twice. Cartagena, I wasn't really impressed. The food was good. The women, they're trying to stop a lot of prostitution, which is not a bad thing, bro. Because if you want your family to go, you want to take your family to a place like Cartagena to see like historical shit. You don't want to see hookers and shit everywhere, especially if you got an 8, 9 year old kids walking with you. You know, so yeah, I get that. You know what I mean? So, but Cartagena, I mean, it was nice. I met some really nice, real people. That's what I go there for. I don't go there for, hey baby, hola papi. Yeah, whatever. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Because that's scenery, right? Have you ever been to what the hell is that? Loma? What is that? You've been to Medellin? Oh, Medellin. Yeah, I heard about Medellin, you know. But what I've heard about Medellin is exactly why I didn't want to go there. You know? Because I was in Cartagena and everybody, you know, you got a lot of thirsty ass dudes. Man, you want to go to Medellin? No, I don't. You know, I mean, because you've seen it. You know, I mean, you've seen what they have, you've seen what people have to offer. And, you know, it is what it is, man. Brazil women are fake, Kurt. It depends on what you call fake, honestly. Um, I mean, you're talking about like surgery, like chicks with, I mean, they got a lot of that shit here. I mean, in fact, that's what you're talking about. There is a lot of American women that go there for that bullshit because it's cheaper. They go to DR, they go to Mexico, you know. The weather is great in Medellin. You can do so many tours in Medellin. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to go somewhere where the water was blue because in Cartagena, the beach, it was nasty. That shit was like it wasn't blue, bro. That shit looked like a river. So I don't like beaches like that. You know, especially when you're used to crystal blue skies and beaches and things of that nature. Buenaventura? No, I have not. But no, man. I mean, but as far as dating, bro, let me tell you something. You can run into scams with people all over the world. People have games, people have tricks, people tell lies everywhere. You know what I mean? So that like that passport bro shit, yeah, I've heard about them. Colombia is literally a brothel. I have family in Colombia and Mexico. Jose Chavez, yeah. Been there quite a few times to Colombia. But I mean, that's not all a Colombian is like that. No, it's not. But here's the thing: you have to look for it. That brothel like lifestyle, it's in your face. The other part, the culture side of it, that's what you look for. You look for that. Hey, where's the salsa club? Where's the salsa clubs at? Where can I go and dance? You know what I mean? Like, where can I find this? Let's go here. What's the best restaurant? You know, those type of things. Not, hey, where do I find some coke and go to a brothel? No, what? No. He said, don't go to Colombia. Guatape is beautiful. Muslim women are very good for marriage. I dated a Muslim girl for about 10 years. Are they good for marriage? They're good for customs that in some customs that serves marriage well. But I wouldn't necessarily say they're good for marriage. I just think they're just, they keep customs weller than most people. I have a cousin who is half Colombian. Family is from the Pacific coast, and some are Razal. Okay. Have you ever been to Spain? I've never been to Spain. I have never been to Spain. No, I have not. Can't say that I have. So, but yeah, but back to the passport bros and stuff like that, man. Get your swag up, man. Go to the gym, work out, work on your image. You know what I mean? Become appealing to someone that would want to be with the best version of you. Not just because I've seen cats, bro. I go to DR a lot to visit family. I got family in Mocha. I have family in Malverde. I have family out there. And when I go to see them, yeah, I'll go down to Puerto Plata. I go to Sosua because I have friends that own businesses there and I like to support their businesses. And I love the beach. I love massages. I love the food. And, the camaraderie of brethrens. That's cool. But then it's like this. You go there and you see a lot of green passport port bros, you know, and it's just crazy. It's it is just hilarious. Spain is full of Brits. Is that a fact? Oh, fucking bullshit. I heard Spain is kicking out white Americans. That's strange. Venezuela. Never been to Venezuela. But it's funny that you say that. I was actually going to visit Venezuela. Because I did have an ex that lived there. But didn't go. Joe Joyce versus Philip Hergovic, 5 versus 5, number 2 will be great. The loser go retires. That would be a good fight, Philip Hergovic versus Joe Joyce. Philip's faster, but, you know, who knows? We used to call it Rasta del Crime. All of our criminals used to live there. Am I supporting Kamala? Kamala Harris? You know, I'm not really a political guy at all, man. I know enough to know that I remember this movie from Richard Pryor called Brewster's Millions. One of my favorite movies. You know, it had John Candy in it co-starring. And, well, I don't know if you guys seen Richard Pryor, but Richard Pryor inherited all this money. And he inherited all this money. He had to spend it all and this, that, and the other. So he had to spend money, but the money couldn't make him more money. He couldn't make it to invest in something. So he had to find a way to spend money on something that he knew that he would not get a return back. And that was Brewster's Millions. Exactly. St. Don. One of my favorite movies. I love that movie. And he decided to run for, what was it? Mayor, I think it was, or governor. And it was his, and it wasn't even him. It was like, vote for none of the above. And he wanted everybody to vote for none of the above because he thought all of them were full of shit. And that's exactly how I feel about politics. None of the above. I don't care about any of that shit. You know, so if you ask me about Kamala Harris, you ask me about Donald Trump, I couldn't really give you an other answer beside the answer I just gave you. I don't care about any of them. You know? I don't care. I really do not care. I'm not a Candace Owens. I'm not a, sure the hell ain't a Don Lemon. I don't care about politics like that. The only politics I care for is the opinion in the sport of boxing. It's the sport that I love that I hate so much. Not what or who you think should appear like they're running the country, because they don't. He spent the last bit on a stamp. Yeah, I remember that. He had that pretty lawyer. I dated a girl that looks like her, sounded like her too, acted like her and everything. Kurt, you need to visit Europe. Yeah, I do need to visit Europe. I do agree. I have visited some parts of Europe. Who are you going to elect? Satan or Satan? I don't know what that means. But no, man, we're sitting here talking about that stuff. Yeah, the passport bros, and you know, because I mean, they got a lot of flack for a while, but like, just you have to always get somebody that you know that you can relate to. You know, that's the thing. You have to find that relatable person, that person you can hold a conversation with. You know, well, Blaine, there you go. I went to Germany. I went to Frankfurt. Frankfurt's beautiful. And speaking of Frankfurt, man, uh, and speaking of Germany, Germany has some beautiful women in Germany, bro. No doubt. You know. But but yeah, I will definitely visit the UK. I want to visit Scotland, Spain. German food worse than ours, though. You know, it used to be a German restaurant over here called Schessel's. Scheskel's, that's what it's called. And the guy, it was a German guy with his two sons and his wife. And actually, the food is pretty good. Speaking of Germany, I remember when the Berlin Wall came down on TV. I remember that shit. Yeah, I remember that, man. I remember like people were having pieces of it, like I got a piece of the Berlin Wall. German women love black men. Troy, correction. German women love dark-skinned black men. They don't necessarily care for the men that from the offspring they produce from the black men that they like. They like the Deontay Wilders. They don't like the Kurt DeVilles. I might get some play, but no. Like if you, it's crazy. It's just like, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. So no, they don't care for the Anthony Joshuas and shit. The LB Shures. No, they don't want somebody that could get man, you look like my son. I know you're speaking for experience, Troy. I believe you. hmm but you hear that anyway. I'll never forget I was working at a Domino's about 9 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. Now, this was a while back. And this guy, I think it was like a Mexican cat, man. He came in, he was from Chicago. I knew he was from Chicago. And he comes in with his girl, and his girl's from Germany. And when I tell you this chick, she was probably about, bro, she was fair. I mean, she had like the milkiest skin. She had the prettiest eyes. But when I tell you that she was fine, I mean fine. Bro, she looked good. And then the dude knew. And she was nice. So she's like, hi. And everybody like, hey, how you doing? And the dude was like, he was looking all like, kind of like, dude, what y'all looking at my girl for? And like she was damn near taller than him because she was one of those big, tall, fine, thick built Gretchen motherfuckers. She had thick legs and that ass, and she was fine, bro. She was really like, and it would be like, oh man. And she was blonde. But then here's the thing, I like to be, people ask me, what's your type? Well, you shouldn't have a type if you know you love women. See, because what you say you want, or put it this way, what you say you don't want, you'll run into the exact thing that you become attracted to that you claim you didn't want. Now that's the Jedi mind trick. Now I don't like blondes until you've seen one. Oh shit. Yeah. Dutch women are so fine, well down to earth. Well, here's the thing. Like, if you go somewhere and make a genuine connection, because that's me. I like to go somewhere and just meet someone, not go over there to meet chicks and anticipate. No, no, no. If you go there, you meet someone that's awesome. That means it was meant to be. If you don't, it won't. You know, but to go over there to prove a point, to show chicks out, to show chicks up that you just left, like, aha, I got me one. That's not the right idea. And in fact, that's just not, how it's supposed to go. And you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Kurt, you need to visit Africa because African Morocco is very good. Morocco? Oh, I believe that. Again, man, I dated an African girl for a very long time, and she was from North Mali. Okay? Not South Mali, North Mali. When people become really light and they look like they're from Egypt or Moroccan, yeah. Because actually they're just ancient African people that's been there a very long time north of Bamako. If you guys know anything about Mali. And, the prettiest women, you're like, where the hell are you guys from? Yeah. Kurt, you remind me of the Jamaican family in Living Color. I had a job at Pizza Hut, a job working at the cable company, a plumbing job, a taxi job. I like 2 or 3 jobs. So, but no, understand it's I've never met anyone that looked like that until I met her. And I didn't meet her in Africa. I met her going to school in Vermont. But I mean, it all goes to it comes down to your personality and who you are. How well-rounded are you? So, so yeah, it's a treat though. Travel is a treat. You can get rich in travel and no one can take that away from you. If I go to Africa one day, I'll stop in Egypt first and Morocco next. Yeah. And here's the thing. Women are not there for display. Now, maybe if you go to Senegal, yeah, because a lot of women from Senegal, they dress like Westerners over here. So you got these fine, voluptuous shaped women wearing all this skimpy shit because they're trying to be Americans. But you go to Morocco and Egypt, you won't see that type shit. You'll see someone wrapped fully wrapped. You might see this part of their skin. You know what I mean? Yeah. There are beautiful women everywhere. Afro Jam. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Or trying to be French. Well, yeah, they colonized it. So a lot of places speak French. So, that's kind of like here, people speak English. So, yeah, man. But to go over this poll, who have seen Best of the Best? Well, I've seen Bit of the Best. I hate doing that type shit because I don't think you can edit that. You just end the poll. So out of 130 votes, 73 have not seen Best of the Best. Dude, Kurt, what about Big Beautiful Women? They all have a place. I updated some big girls. The only question is, do you want to do that all the time? Then it becomes like, something that it's like a more like a fetish, or you get a vibe to do it. You know, I've seen some beautiful big ass women, and I don't mean beautiful like, oh, they looks good for a big girl. No, woman, I'm gonna take you back to my room and show you what is called to see doom. You know, so no, absolutely. You know, like I went to the this white party, and I was there with friends and stuff like that, and I seen the prettiest, biggest ass, fine, beautiful, huge broad I ever seen. You know, yeah, they do love British accents. You know what I mean? And it's like almost like, again, like beautiful, big, beautiful women. I mean, listen, there are some women that are just meant to be big, but then there are some women that just got fat. I don't like that. You know, bro, I dated a mother. I had a child with someone from Guam, bro. Psycho Crusher. She was from Guam. Yeah, that's pretty much first, second cousins to Samoans, man. So I know about that shit. I definitely do. You know, but not all Samoan women are like fat either. You know what I mean? I've seen some fine, like Tierra Carre looking Samoan chicks. I'm like, oh shit. You know, that's just a stereotype though. Will they get fat? Oh yeah, they will get fat. Mm-hmm. Have a baby or two and then a lot of bad dieting a couple years. Yep, they will be exactly what the stereotype puts them to be. I'm not interested in going to America, but every American chick that I have spoken to, they love my voice. Afro Jam, why not? I mean, America's a plethora of places and people anyway. Wherever you're from, I'm pretty sure you can find a little area that's full of the people that where you're from. I promise you that. So if you're from Cape Verde, good shit. Go to go to Massachusetts. Go to Rhode Island. That's where all the like Demetrius Andrade and all those cats. Yeah, they're Cape Verdeans, bro. You want to see Irish? You know, go to Boston. Right? I'm not interested in. Okay, I already got that. So no, but love them all though. But half of my family is American. Okay, well that means you should visit, sir. Who has seen the best of the best? Now I can't believe 73% out of you guys, out of over 130 votes, have not seen Best of the Best with Philip Ree, Eric Roberts, Sally Kirkland, John Dye, Christopher Penn, James Earl Jones, Simon Ree, and that's it. One of the best karate movies you ever see, bro. We're fossils, Kurt. I guess so, because a lot of people are like, I haven't seen that shit. I'm like, dude, Best of the Best? Yeah, it's a good film, man. You know what's crazy about that, though? John Dye's dead. Chris Penn's dead. I don't know about Sally Kirkland. James Earl Jones is still around. Philip Ree's still here. Simon Ree's still here. Best of the Best wasn't that good to me. I love that movie. That's why we have our own opinions. King of the Kickboxers, Billy Blanks. I remember old Billy Blanks, man. Mark Madoff versus Guido. Are you going to watch it? Yeah, it's on the undercard of and Billy versus Deverenchenko. So yeah, I'll go live for it later tonight. You know, that top rank card should be good. It should be. Got a lot of like new, fresh blood on there. Billy Cosby is still here. Let's do it again. I remember that movie. Him and Sidney Poitier and James Amos. Yeah. Meals on Wheels, Psycho Crusher. Did we just become best friends? Him and Benny the Jet Urquidez. One of the best fight scenes I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, Meals on Wheels was dope. You know, they had that on YouTube free for a while. I believe it was on YouTube. You know, Benny the Jet Urquidez. It's a bad boy. Hypnotizing Bootney Farnsworth. Yeah, I remember that. AKA Jimmy Walker. Crazy. Kurt, why you don't love fat women? It's not the fact that I don't love fat women or like fat women. Um, I understand people that were normal and just got fat. I have no love for people that just obese, that just got obese. I don't have any love for them. That's a turnoff because there are some women that are naturally big women. It is not the fact that they're overweight, hypertension, diabetes. No, they're just naturally big women. Those are different from someone that was normal size and then they got fat. Damn. Legend has it that Malik Scott is watching the Wilder Zhang fight and saying to himself, I have finally gotten my revenge. You guys are trip, man. But you know what, man? I've been on this live stream for 3 hours. I have got to get some sleep. You guys check out Romulus Alien Show. Appreciate you guys showing up for my movie premiere. Again, me and Box and Wave, we're going to come together and make a movie channel for movie lovers that know, knew, loved, appreciated movies. And I hope you guys subscribe. If not, I will see you guys next time. Everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.